Hello, Internet. It is Frazley, the awesome gnome. On this episode, we will discuss the alpha, your main identity, the Teldrassil Theories that you are burning to share, and more. Let's start the gnome train! Welcome to Frazzlecast, a podcast by a Blizzard fan gnome about World of Warcraft and geeky stuff. We are recording live from a tavern. Each week we are joined by awesome people from around Azeroth and beyond. This is episode 41, Your Main Identity. This week we have the international Rockstar goddess, Jilara, and Scruffbutt. Scruffy Druid told me to call her that.
Oh, because you're pants.
Yeah.
You can be pants and I'll be the butt.
Jeez.
Oh, I'm so glad Zephirah, her lady, are in voice.
Sweet. I broke the gnome and it's been 60 seconds. My job's done.
Yeah.
Woo!
Oh.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Woo!
Oh.
Come on, everybody else, you got to train too. Come on.
Absolutely. And at some point, I'm actually going to create a train and put it in my own voice and just randomly put it on a show and surprise everybody. So since we last talked, what's new with everyone? Let's start with the international Rockstar goddess, Jilara.
I got in the alpha. Woohoo!
Nice!
Woo! You sexy thing, you.
I know, I don't know what I did, but I'll take it. I guess I'm an influencer.
Yes!
It's because you have the original Ashbringer.
It's true. I am the only true Ashbringer. I hate to break it to everybody, but you've got Franklin Mint copies.
Yeah.
It's my favorite part about your bio. I have the original Ashbringer.
I could see them looking at the code and being like, which characters have what?
That's right. You just wait, it's going to be official someday, you'll see.
Yes.
Fake it till you make it.
Oh, absolutely. That's me every day.
I think that's everybody secretly. Some people admit it.
Yeah. Oh, and what's amazing is I'm learning about the imposter syndrome and how in your mind you think that everyone's going to at some point find out that you're a fake or that you don't have a voice. And what I'm finding out is everybody, every celebrity, every YouTuber, every streamer struggles with it, but sometimes we're too afraid to admit it, or we think, oh no, we're the only one who goes through this.
I must be a weirdo because I feel exactly the opposite. It's like I'm walking around and how come nobody knows how awesome I am? I'm the anti-imposter syndrome.
That is one of the side effects of the Ashbringer. It has a plus 85 to confidence.
You know, I haven't got anything to back it up, but my God, I'm confident.
Hey, you got in the alpha, so I mean, again, awesome.
Yeah, that's true. I guess I do, but it's one of those things you look around and say, okay, look what I did. Stop, you're going to make me sing live and you'll be sorry.
Yeah, I love singing.
No, it won't.
Well, it depends what I sing. I mean, since we're on a train theme, I could sing the Mule Skinner Blues. That's a wonderful old song.
Don't make me sing your Crusader to you.
I'd like to hear that, actually.
It's been a while since I watched it, but every time I do, I'm like, Crusader!
Yes! We have a true believer here.
Yes!
So you can come in for your Tabard fitting next week. Sweet. You watch, they're going to be an allied race. We're going to Lordaeron. Where is there an army that's just waiting to kick the shit out of the Forsaken and Sylvanas? You wait. I will be vindicated.
Sylvanas will die. That's my prediction this year.
She already died.
Oh, again.
Well, they're saying at the hour of her third death. So I think, and they're hinting that Ilaria has a line about considering herself that she died when she got hooked up with the Void. Maybe they kill each other. There's my theory.
Ooh, I like that.
I don't know. My only theory, well, I don't actually have a theory, but my revelation moment today was, wow, all the Wind Brothers sisters hooked up with humans. What is it with the elves and the humans? Because Sylvanas was digging on Nathanos Blightcaller, who was the only human ranger in the Quo.
It's true. They like those big, burly, hairy guys.
They do. It's kind of like, what? I had to think about it.
Like
and, you know,
and they're all dumber than a bag of hair. I mean, the Windrunner sisters are pretty, but man, they're not too bright.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the dudes, and I'm like,
the dudes aren't that great either, so they're well matched.
Terrellian, that freaking tin can.
He's all right. I mean,
he's a chump.
He was a priest. Yeah, he's doing the best he can. Not everybody's born a plady. He's trying to get over it.
Well, and so many people
light hugging hippies
for less than they are worth. What I found out today, I was listening to Podcast of the Whale. I forgot about this. In vanilla, they did not have a blood elf model, so Sylvanas was a night elf, and they were like, she was jumpy and stuff. I was like, wow. Yeah. I forgot about that.
I've got pictures of that on my first couple machinimas. So,
I've got a picture. I've got a screenshot of Jill laying dead by Night Elf Sylvanas because I ran in. It was my one woman raid on the Undercity when you could like wall walk and jump through the top of the Undercity model and fall straight in. So I just sort of yelled "Death from above" and jumped in, and it happened to be right in the middle of her song and dance floor number. So on top of everything else, she's over there singing the band. She started floating around, and I'm over there beating on the back of her head. And then she turned around and just like, and that was it.
Sylvanas is going to have the most model changes in this game because she went from Night Elf to, she didn't even have the regular Blood Elf model. I mean, she kind of did for a little bit, and it was all buxom and big ass hair. And then she went to a different model, and now she's got a different model again. I mean, where are we up to 4 and 5 now? And then you look at the cinematic, and she looks completely different again.
I think I was seeing that she does get a new model in BFA, unless I'm thinking of a different character.
Nathanos gets updated, I think, as well.
Oh yeah, Nathanos gets a update, I think.
Even beyond the one, he looks so good. It's me lusting after pixels there.
I still hate him for all the times he would wipe out our freaking 40-man raid over at his farm.
God, he was such a jerk in vanilla. I remember my friend running me around in Eastern Plaguelands. He's like, never go near this house. I'm like, why? And then all of a sudden these dogs and him come running at me, and I'm 100 feet away. I'm like, I'm gonna die! And I did.
The Plaguelands were so awesome. What's this rock? Death.
Dude,
Death.
Remember the corrupted blood?
Yep,
Did you ever click on the corrupted? Yeah, Blood of Heroes.
Bad mistake.
That kicked my butt, and then the Courier kicked my butt.
That's right, Scarlet Power.
Yeah, and then when they had the invasions over there, that kicked my butt. Eastern Plaguelands was serious business, man. I died a lot. Can you tell?
Yeah, I would always tell new guildies, we'd go into the Plaguelands, I'd be taking them to, click on that, there's loot in that, and then just watch them get nuked.
Nice.
Welcome to the Plaguelands.
Oh, man. And then when they had, Cutronos the Herald, I know it wasn't in Eastern Plaguelands, but it was in Western Plaguelands, and he was flying around outside of Strathome. I actually missed the way that, or not Strathome, excuse me, Scholomance. I missed the way that one used to be, because that was just so incredibly lore heavy there. It was awesome. I still go out there from time to time with my spectral essence and check out the ghosts and chat with them.
Yeah, I know. I always feel bad for them. They're just running around having a good time. You're dead, right?
They're just stuck there. Crap.
Well, might as well run around these ruins since we're not going anywhere.
Absolutely.
We didn't derail this at all, did we?
Oh no! Actually, no. This is great. I love hearing this. So this is perfect.
And there's also the
vanilla players.
How can you tell if somebody's played in vanilla? Just wait; they'll tell you.
They'll tell you.
The thing that always bugged me about the quest with Chain with Tyrion Fordrin is you pick up that painting of his family, and Talon has black hair, like Tyrion, right? Except when Talon grows up to be totally blonde. Somebody screwed up somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, people can change their hair and get dyed. I mean, it's.
Do you really think that the big burly head of the Scarlet Crusade is going to go on the peroxide? I mean,
absolutely. I mean, people are vain enough.
He's all hopped up on power.
Yeah,
it's true, and he looked well, but he'd have to bleach his beard too, and I guess that would be kind of a tricky tricky proposition. I don't know.
He aged really, really fast, and it was just easier to dye the light hair.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I had an argument with somebody about how old Tyrion Fordring was when he died. And they were like, no way, he would have been about 70. I'm like, well, he had an adult son back like 20 years ago, so the kid had to be like 17 or 18 to already be a paladin. So there's and he's, a grown man now, so there's no reason that Tyrion Fordring couldn't have been like 75 or so. He's a paladin. He's the picture of perfect health.
Yeah, let's face it. Our age timelines and WoW, they're not really like out in real life.
No.
Humans have been around forever. I mean, they just never seem to die until they disintegrate out there in the Broken Shore.
Well, and I learned gnomes live to 400.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
We're going to be punting for a long time.
An eternity of punting.
Yes. And then in the afterlife, if you've been a bad gnome, you're punted forever. If you've been a good gnome.
Like Shire took 6 years to build a bridge. It's true.
Mean punted like that blue dragon used to punt you across the entire ocean at the end of the Onyxia chain?
Oh God,
yeah.
Yes! Yes, he would
was
punch
the
you back
best.
to Winterspring.
Well, and what's fun, in PvP, I still get punted in PvP all the time.
Well, you deserve it. You're a gnome.
Yeah.
You're just asking for it at this point.
Oh, absolutely.
Break blood elves and I punt gnomes.
I hate PvP.
I only PvP if I'm with a group. I have not PvP'd as much otherwise because I'm not as good at it.
I never could decide if I don't like it because I am no good at it, or I'm no good at it because I don't care because I don't like it.
Well, I'm not very good at it, but I really enjoy it. It's great with friends.
Yes.
That's the main part. As long as you're having a good time.
Yeah. Moonfire, old things.
And like when you're coordinated in a group, it's fun just to move around and stuff like that.
You're the murder hokey pokey.
It's the best when it's the brawl in Eye of the Storm, and if you've got people that you're playing with, every time you get jumped up or booted up in the air, it's like, okay, we're going to this one, and you're all coordinating across the map. Yes, BGs and Brews. We get everybody in BGs and Brews some night. That'll
Absolutely. I would definitely join up. So since we last talked, Jilara, or is it Jilara or Red Pally Jill? I always forget.
You can just call me Jill. Everybody else does.
Okay. So Jill, what's been up with you?
Let's see. I might be getting a promotion at work, so we'll see about that. I hope so.
Nice.
That would be good. I would like that a great deal. As I'm infamously always broke. But, let's see what else. Other than the alpha, I am working on a, you want to know, remember Cho'Gall said, they reach out to touch the fire. Well, I'm writing another song for another BlizzCon talent contest. Yes, I'm going back and sticking my hand in that garbage disposal again.
Nice.
Do it.
Absolutely.
Do it. They reach out to touch the fire.
Hey, the best stuff is when we face adversity and we come out on the other side winning.
Well, we'll see. Getting the alpha invite was nice, but I don't know if I can push my luck for an entire year like that, but we'll try.
Yeah, it's the RNG. Just, I realize with arms, I use all my RNG on the boss fight, so I never win the actual loot rolls. Nice.
I got some nice stuff. I got some Titanforge stuff last night, and of course it was both slots where I have legendaries, so it's like, wonderful. Let me junk this.
Oh gosh, I hate that. Doesn't it make you cry a little bit when you have to sell things like that? You're like,
oh yeah,
I can't use this. And
like, why? Why couldn't it be my loot?
What would be fun is if in the next expansion, say you got something like that, you could turn it into azurite for your necklace and be like, can I just at least add a little bit more power to what I already have? I know that they probably never go for that though.
That's too easy, but but that would be a nice idea.
Yeah, maybe that should have been what the Forge did. Instead of giving us Obliterum and boosting things that we're still going to out-level in the higher raids.
Obliterum was stupid.
Maybe what they should have done was made it gives us artifact power. That would have been so much better.
I agree.
Been useful.
They've totally destroyed professions in every way. I'm really unhappy with that, but we'll see if they can fix it. I think at this point they just have to start completely over from zero.
Yeah, I'm hearing rumors of a stat squish with the professions. Thankfully, they've said at the last Q&A, no more profession quests. Thank you, Blizzard.
I didn't mind the profession quests. I minded that there was just so many of them.
Yeah.
Like, everything was locked behind them. But I liked that you got to see a little bit more of the world.
Well,
I don't mind. Again, it's Blizzard is not big on self-control. You're going to get everything, and then if one person says they don't like it, then you can have any.
Yeah.
We're done.
Go big or go home!
It's not a buffet. It's a full service.
There you go. Let's just have a little bit of both, you know? Like the meme says, why not both?
Absolutely. Kind of like a multiple courses. Like, here you go. Here you go. And if you don't like this, just tell your waiter and you can get this over here.
Yep, mainly I'm just angry that there are like 2 classes. And there's alchemy that can make a ton of money. There's jewelry crafting, which can make some money. And then everybody else is just completely out of luck. Try making money as a blacksmith. You can't.
And engineering, I just spend all my money to learn stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only reason I don't switch professions is because I blew all that time. I went through all the trouble to become a master armor smith. And why don't I get a feat of strength for that? That was a lot of work. I did the whole Mithril Order chain, dealt with that obnoxious Dark Iron Dwarf and his stupid thorium quests.
Yeah. That would have been a really good achievement. Or at least a feat.
Yeah, just a nice feat of strength for everybody, because there were all different specializations. I mean, there was elemental leatherworking and all that stuff, and I think the people who put in the work for those should at least get a little line of text.
Absolutely.
You heard it here first, folks. Get on that, Blizzard.
Yes.
And then put hair on your hats.
Because if Blizzard... Because hopefully you're listening, because hopefully you knew that Jill would be on tonight's show, so that's why you gave her the alpha. So hopefully you're listening to the show.
That's true. Fame follows in my wake.
Absolutely.
I'm Julie Awesome, the Alliance version of Johnny Awesome.
And the other Johnny Awesome we have in our stable today is the Scruffy Druid.
That's right.
I'm not your stag, friend.
No,
I mean...
You're a boomkin.
Boom, 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 boom. Might not be for much longer, honestly.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird. It's weird not being resto anymore. And I think I might be missing the healing a bit. I still love Boomkin for PvP, but Boomkin just pisses me off in PvE. And I think it's just because I don't excel at it very well. So I might be going back to resto for the next expansion or checking out Feral a little bit more. Yeah.
Someone had to say it.
That's true.
I have no shame.
But yeah. So that's been on my mind. The other night I was playing Feral and I was really enjoying it. But then again, I wasn't exactly playing it content. It was just running through old stuff and it was so satisfying. So satisfying. Rawr. Rawr.
I am loving Balanced Druid, and it's just like fun calling down the skies. Smite thee!
Oh, don't get me wrong. I love dropping moons on top of people, but I don't know. I cannot seem to make it work the way I want it to in raids, and it's a me problem. It's not a class problem. It's just totally me. I don't know. I hate the fact that this guy made a boomkin a month ago and just is completely obliterating me on the. I'm like, what is this jerk doing?
That's gotta hurt.
I'm watching his what he's doing. I'm sitting here going, okay, well, the hell? How did this demon hunter make a freaking boomkin and just immediately do better than me?
Ouch.
I guess it's really not that hard, I'm sure, but yeah. So I almost caught him, but yeah, I'm a little salty about that. So I'm not a very good druid.
I've been a red paladin since my first talent point in around January of 2005. I've never been another spec. I mean, when they went to dual specs, I got tank, and I think I tanked 2 instances, and it was so bad I sold all my gear and never looked back.
I used to tease our Ret Pally in Molten Core. I'm like, res me, heal me. He's like, shut up. He was also our raid lead, said it was awesome. He would always go holy for the bosses, but he was running around Ret like a madman.
On the rare occasions I would get into a Molten Core raid, there would always be this deathly silence. Who invited a ... Rat. So once that went around there, you stand over here. You're out of combat res. Okay, fine, whatever. I'm getting my 2 on.
Well, and I've been having a joke with Madros of All Things Azeroth that I make jokes about paladins, but I really do like paladins. Just don't tell Madros.
Your secret is safe with me.
Sounds good.
I'll be honest, Joe, man, if Forgans ever got to be paladins, I would be back at a paladin in a heartbeat.
Oh, I could see.
That'd be pretty jazzy.
Yeah.
Oh.
And I
don't understand why they're not. They were like there with Lordaeron, where like the paladins seem to be.
I'm sure they were, but maybe the Worgen curse breaks the connection to the light. I don't know.
I wouldn't buy that because of the priests. So
yeah, it's the same thing we have with the gnomes and the paladins. I got to bring it up again. Gnome and paladins. Gnomes can be priests. Why can't they be paladins? But someone said that they probably wouldn't have enough strength to be a tank.
It's because you can't reach the light. Sorry. That's been said an awful lot, so... But yeah, totally true.
I personally love gnome jokes. I mean, because I know that they're said out of love for most people.
Well, yeah, gnomes are awesome.
I just want to be a big floofy Worgen with a big old axe running around because I loved my axes on my paladin.
Oh, that'd be cool.
What? Axes are not a knightly weapon.
Well, my paladin was kind of a... She was more like a warrior that could use the light. She had a big chip on her shoulder.
Okay.
She was fun to play, though. For some reason I couldn't get into them until Cataclysm, though, even though that really, really sucked in Cataclysm. It felt like you had to kill something and then immediately like stop and get all your mana and everything back, and then you could go get another mob.
Yeah.
Oh, it hasn't always been easy to be a rat paladin, but I just stick with it. Good, bad, whatever they throw at me, that's what I'm doing.
I was so excited when I talked to Mr. Scruffy and he's like, what should I try and play? He made like a rogue first. And then when he was talking about making another character, he's like, I think you'd be a really good paladin. I think you'd like that. He's like, I don't know. Nope, dude. Paladin is it. He loves it. I was like, I was right!
It seems to be more of a mindset than other classes. I mean, people have such a connection to the idea. I mean, look at Chris Metzen. I'm the voice of Thrall. Yeah, I'm a paladin. Okay, well, good for you, Chris.
Yes,
right,
Divine Storm.
So loved.
Yeah, Divine Storm is seriously the reason why I went back and leveled 1, because I thought that was the coolest animation ever.
Lightning, hammers. What more can you ask for?
Right. I am a tornado of chaos. Gimme.
Fist of justice.
This one.
My warrior's technically a paladin because my rage, so my artifact weapon can heal me. I just got to use a lot more rage and be angry.
But second wind could always heal you too, so it didn't really,
Yeah.
I feel like an idiot that I never really realized that you were a warrior. I mean, I've always known you're a gnome, but
everybody
warrior.
stops at that point.
It's like all gnomes are the same. Oh wait, he really is a warrior. I think I thought you were a mage or something. Maybe just because it's, the Frazley cast or the Frazley. It sounds like a mage to me.
It really does.
I could see that. I could see being a Frazley mage. It's just, I've got a really cool wallpaper by, the name of the artist is, I'm blanking on it right now, because it's not Fabelina. It's somebody else their name starts with an F, but they may be an amazing wallpaper, and the name's going to come back to me after the podcast. So sorry if you're listening. I love your wallpaper. But they made me an amazing wallpaper of Frazley just holding his sword like, and it's just, it's so cool. I bring it back on my phone every so often. Right now it's on the Battle for Azeroth Alliance wallpaper.
As it should be.
Mine is both of them. It's like it's split down the middle of Alliance and Horde, but it's keep calm and tank on. Because sometimes you need to remember that for life. You just need to kind of go out ahead strong.
I don't have a particular background on my phone, but the desktop image it's from the WoW card game, and it's the image called I believe it's Favored of the Light, and it's a rare picture of like a human woman who isn't that picture of the mage that they've had since like 2005. She's standing there and she's got the fireball in her hand. And that's like every time they do. So yeah, this gal, she's extremely pissed off. She's got her wings going. about to smack somebody with a stun hammer, and it's just absolutely glorious. I highly recommend that picture. You should go look it up. I get inspired to go wholly kick butt every time I look at it.
Nice.
Do all the things.
Absolutely.
Cup is already empty.
So, Scruffy. So what's new with you?
So, what was it? The last time I was on, we had just got Book, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we just got Book. We have successfully not killed Book.
That's good.
So that's progress. He's insane, and we love him. And we mostly love him. I love him very much, but
he looks so cute.
He is such a terror. And it's just because he's all puppy right now, but he's kind of a biter. Yeah, he's like a rough play biter, and I've got to fix that with him. And I feel like I've been a horrible dog mommy because we got him, and then I was really sick, and I didn't have any energy for him, so I missed out on like 2 weeks of trying to get this kid in shape. Yeah, and then work's been extremely busy this last week. So there's like more time that I haven't really had a chance to do much with him. And today he was apparently being a little poop head for Mr. Scruffy. Oh, that is a really great picture. I like that,
awesome.
right?
That is amazing. I see what you mean. Yeah, look at that. As a gnome, I feel the power.
That's how great this picture is. It's going to bust right through your monitor and like justice you in the face.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's going to smack you. It's great.
Ow, my eye.
So yeah, Book was not coming to Mr. Scruffy today, and was just like running around crazy around the yard. And he apparently kind of has that whole "I want to go chase cars" thing. We're not used to that either. So yeah, that's got to go. And it's like all these things. Like I got to fix that. I got to fix that, and I got to fix that. And we really got to fix that.
That sounds like a parent, actually.
Yeah, it is. And then it's like, get Sirius out of your mouth. No, don't put your mouth on Sirius. No, get out of Sirius's bed. No, you can't eat Sirius's bed. Stop. So he's a pain. And everybody the other night got to listen to him going just absolutely bananas in the background with one of his toys. It was continuous duck squeaking or like duck farting is what it sounded like. And I was like, well, I can't believe you guys are actually still here in this stream. But yeah, so that's Book. And the worst thing was he wasn't even in the room. He was like down the hallway in the other room. And it's all night.
My dog had a hamburger chew toy, and you would just hear squeak, 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 squeak all the time.
Yeah. He was in here earlier, and then he had like 15 toys in here with him, but he still just won't leave Sirius alone. Like, he really loves Sirius, but he also won't stop loving Sirius. So, and when Sirius wants him to stop, it's no fun. So they've been separated tonight.
The Gold Queen was saying that Book may benefit from like a 2-hour run every evening just to get the energy out.
Yeah, well, Mom's got to be not like such a fatty and have way more stamina to be able to do that. So we're working on that. I mean, we were doing about, a mile every day, and then it snowed and was icy and was really, really cold. And today it actually got up to 50, and I got home early and thought I'm going to take Book for a walk. And then I heard about how horrible he was this afternoon. So instead we went outside and worked on Come for like 15 minutes. He still kind of doesn't know his name. So it's more like you just scream at him and he's like, oh, wait, are you talking to me? Wait, what? I'm not going to listen. That's where he is right now.
You can't possibly be me.
So yeah, we had to go and like stand on opposite sides of the yard with treats, and it was back and forth. Book, come, okay. He's like, oh, you got food? I'm on my way.
Oh, that's awesome.
But he is not super food motivated, and when he is done having treats, he will refuse them. And then he will puke in my car like a drunk frat boy. That was just scary this weekend. I'm taking him home from his little book classes, and all of a sudden he sticks his head behind the seat, and I hear like this waterfall of crap coming out of his mouth. I'm like, this is what it's like to have a drunk frat boy in your car just puking all over the place. This has got to be what it is.
It's just like that. I've had that happen with my Laser Quest teammates.
I mean, I was getting ready to get on the highway, and even worse, I don't have a sense of smell, so I have no idea how bad it stinks. I have no idea where it landed. Yeah, so it was terrible, and he's in the back seat looking like, I'm so sorry I did a bad thing. That was my weekend with Book in a nutshell. So he is never boring, but I mean, he's all puppy right now, so he has those moments where you just want to murder him and other moments where you want to love him, which is, pretty much all the time, but he's so bitey. His love hurts.
You're in an abusive relationship.
Oh, it's so bad. So yeah, that's going on. And then I got to dodge court today, which was awesome. So so once upon a time in December, because you have to go back to get this story, we had a disturbed person show up at our work. And we had to call the police to get him out of there and things. And this is the second time this guy has done that. Well, I fast forward to 4 weeks ago, and there's a subpoena in the mail for me. I'm like, what the hell is this? And I have no idea about it. I don't know what it is. My boss gets one. I get one. Corporate gets involved, and they're like, you guys have to have legal counsel, and you have to do this. And so all day today was because this was the court date today, because I guess this guy, or either the city decided to go after him or something, because he got kind of a little handsy with the cops while we were getting him out of the building. I don't know. So this thing went to court, and our legal department's like, he's probably going to plea once he finds out that there's witnesses. I'm like, what the hell? Why do I have to go? I don't want to do this. I don't want to go to court. I'm freaking out all day. But we had to sit and wait around for 6 hours to find out if they were actually going to do the thing or not.
Yeah, I was on jury duty once, and we had to do the same thing. I can't imagine what it's like waiting to be actually in the trial.
Yeah, and it was, I don't know, we were like, do we need to be down there? They're like, well, we can call you, and then you have 45 minutes to get here. I'm like, how do you accommodate for the parking down there and this other stuff? So my boss actually drove it yesterday to time out how long it takes to get there, how long it takes to park, how long it takes to get to the courtroom. He's like, this is what we're going to do. And then all day today, it was like, we got 45 more minutes till we're off the hook. No call yet, right? You didn't get a call. Just stop making me nervous. Stop. So yeah, we never heard anything today.
It's like the chance of it being bad goes up.
Yeah.
I know. They're like, well, if you don't hear anything by 11:45, give him a call just to double check. And it's like, did you call?
A watched phone never boils.
A watched phone never rings.
It's true.
So, it was nerve wracking. And I mean, I know it was nothing. It was going to be, if it did get that far, it was going to be, yes, this guy came in. Yes, this guy was being aggressive toward us. Yes, this guy was, trying to pose like this the last time he was here. And yes, we did call the cops. It would have been like that. And we did ask him to leave. We did have to forcibly remove him. And then we had to tell him to leave again. So it would have just been something like that. But I mean, the whole idea of it is so scary to me. And it was making me panic for the last couple weeks. And so, yeah, I've been freaking out about that. So today was trying to get through all of that and do work and get home. And I'm mentally done. I've had to interview people all week. I'm about 2 hours over on my hours. So yeah, Scruffy's done. Mentally fried.
Well, you just sit back, relax, and play some WoW.
Absolutely.
We're here in the tavern, have a beer.
Yes.
It's like, Mr. Scruffy, bring me wine. Bring me lots and lots of wine.
Xortz is paying for the next round.
Bring me more wine.
Where's that waitress? Oh my god, the service here is terrible.
I know. We're here every Thursday, so sometimes they just decide to leave us alone because a couple of our regulars don't tip well.
Jill, it's just because they're all gnomes and we can't technically see them because they're all under the tables. They don't reach the counter.
Oh, that was a low blow.
In more ways than one.
And did I see that you have an Airy Peak tune?
Yes. That was let's see. I got back to streaming this week because I was off for a while, and they changed our raid days on us. Usually it was Tuesday and Wednesday. Tuesday we still had normal, so I had a free Wednesday night since Heroic's been moved to Friday. my first character was actually a warlock, and I've had that 100 boost since we got Legion.
Yes. Yeah.
Still it's staring me in the face every time I log in. And now that was staring me in the face along with pre-order the expansion. I had to do something. I really like the warlock's class mount, so I was trying to boost something that I would want to get another mount for.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, if you have lower tunes that are the same class that you've already got your class mount, you could totally use your class mount on them, because my little priest has got her little derpy owl.
Nice!
Oh, that's
even
good
though
to know.
she's level 40.
As Azeroth Roundtable calls it, the Alphace bird.
Yeah.
Hey, Ben and John. Core! I don't know if they listen.
So I tried one of those class trials the other day. That's been around for this entire thing. And since I have not been very much of an alt player, I tried that to see if I would like how the warlocks play, because I kept trying to get back into it since vanilla and just didn't like it. And ironically, my warlock class lead from vanilla has been popping in my stream lately, so it was really cool to see him come back. So I started the class trial, and you can get all the way to getting your first weapon done and pretty much finalizing your class haul. And that's as far as you go in the class trial. So I used my boost on that. It's pretty fun.
Nice.
Owl is really, really pretty. It's not derpy. Are you kidding me? It looks like the spirit of knowledge from Avatar. All right,
It's amazing.
That's what it looks like, and that's what I think about every time I see the darn thing. Or else it's a bird that ran straight into a wall and flattened its face.
Well, for me, before I even saw it, I was listening to Azeroth Roundtable, and they called it Alphace bird, and it had like a very refined, classy voice with it. So now that's what I think of. I don't think of derp owl. I think of Alphace bird.
I figured out the reason why it bugs me so much is just because the way it runs, because the head is so upright and straight when it runs. That's why it looks weird to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really freaky looking. Oh well.
But nice.
Yeah, Zeph's with me. She loves the priest, but the mount is bad. The story was good, but it's odd. It's just awkward.
Before we move on, I wanted to ask Jill. I saw that you got your Mage Tower appearance.
I did. I was really quite pleased about that. Woo!
Is that for the ret one? Is that the broken Ashbringer looking one, right?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Awesome.
It's the one that's all shattered.
Yes.
It's a pretty cool skin.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the things you won't be able to get once BFA launches. So way to go.
I really hope they'd let us transmog to those, because, we worked hard on those. We deserve to get those.
From what I understand, as long as you earned it in Legion and have a character of the same class, you can. It's like Druids can use anything that they earn. You just have to get the skill-based things in Legion, which I am more okay with, because it shows the person went to the top of their class in Legion, put in the effort to be able to do that thing.
That means we need to unlock more Nightmare
If you want
Kitty
something,
things.
work for it.
Absolutely.
It took me 2 days of blood, sweat, tears, and an awful lot of potions. And much very bad language that Paladins probably.
I was going to say, how much cursing happened, because I was screaming during the Feral challenge.
I was yelling
terrible
things at the screen.
I have not tried any of those yet, just because I'm afraid to try Chromie. But nice.
The thing I'm worried about now is the plus 15 mythic appearance.
Oh, yes.
You need to get that.
Mm-hmm.
The PvP ones, I know I'm not going to get, because I might get the prestige level 6 one if I really work at it from now until Battle for Azeroth comes out. But the other ones, no way. I'm okay with that.
I've got the prestige 6 one, and I kept telling myself I was going to level higher. But I love the Nightmare Kitty skin. I would stay feral for that, but I only have the one skin unlocked, so I want more Nightmare Kitty skins. More BGs and brews.
Absolutely.
Needs to happen. Make it happen.
I am speculating a few things may stay from Legion's prestige system rewards, but I could be totally wrong. That's just
like what?
Or at least reskins of what we have, but they're not resetting talents and prestige in BFA. So I'm thinking they're going to keep some rewards, or at least give us new versions of the rewards. But again, I'm a gnome, so I could just be making it up in my mind.
Talking tall tales again.
Yeah.
Get there, Fraz.
I'm thinking of I'm trying to think of the name of that. Oh, why can't I think of the name of that tall person that has legends about him?
Paul Bunyan?
Yeah, Paul Bunyan. Yes.
Look, guys, I speak Frazley.
Yes.
There you go.
I appreciate it. So I see in your notes, you're all asking about this Doomsayer robes.
Yeah, what the butts?
Yes.
Like, I've seen so many people talk about that on Twitter, and I must be the only one that does not know. Please educate me.
Well, as a podcaster, I look for a lot of news and a lot of tidbits. I'm always constantly scouring for stuff because I only cover WoW and geeky stuff here. Well, on Wowhead one day, they talked about how the WoW General Secret Finding Discord was able to find that the Doomsayer's robe toy that was data mined drops off of 2 NPCs. There is rumors it could be the Orgrimmar guards and Stormwind guards, but it drops off of Charles. I don't know his last name, but Charles and Orgrimmar. And I don't care about the one in for Horde. No, if you're Horde, it's some character in the Mage Tower district. Wowhead has a list. Yeah. And actually, the Stormwind one's easier because you don't have to go into the middle of town. So for the Orgrimmar one, oh, this one was so much fun. So Charles is on one of the Zeppelin towers in the middle of Orgrimmar.
Oh, that's fortunate.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And Orgrimmar has those flying
Wind Riders.
Oh,
Yeah.
I hate those things.
Oh, those guys are such jerks.
I first tried joining a raid because I got the fell spreader through those, but apparently the rules for this one are different than how the fell spreader dropped. I found the NPC, and TomTom Waypoint is great because
I have no idea what you actually meant, but this is what you said.
Yes.
Say what?
You don't want to know.
Outtakes.
The wine, okay. I'll be right back.
You know how when you're listening to something and you're trying to write something down at the same time, and sometimes you write.
Yes. And that was perfect timing because I just
Oh man, the only thing that would have made that better is if my webcam was on. Apparently, I texted my husband to say, "Would you bring me the WoW?" So he busted with the World of Warcraft book. I'm dying. Look, guys, I broke myself.
Okay, this is staying, and this is too perfect. I'm sorry.
And of course, he has no idea that the mic was open the entire time.
And again, the timing was perfect. It was right when I finished my thought. Oh, man.
If you worked all day, you wouldn't have been able to.
Oh. Yeah, you can't. Oh, you can't make comedy go like that.
Oh, I'm crying.
Oh, me too. Whew. Sorry, I didn't take a drink of water.
Thanks, honey.
You're very welcome, huh? Come on, Bob.
Hey, Mr. Scruffy.
Fraz says hi.
Hello.
I'm really sorry about that.
You're fine. Oh, I needed to laugh today. Thank you. Especially with what's going on tomorrow. And I won't go into it because I'll tell people in private. I found the NPC and I would dive bomb into it. And a few times Horde would leave me alone. A few times Horde were there. They would just go after me. If you want to go after him, make sure that the Zeppelins are gone because both the guards on the Zeppelins and they're typically players when the Zeppelins are there, they'll come after you. But then one time I was flying into Orgrimmar, was flying too low. One of the Wind Riders shot an arrow. I plummeted to my death. And I was like, I'm done.
How dramatic.
Yeah. I logged off. Another time I dive bombed in, got the NPC. The drop rate's not guaranteed.
What?
No, it's not a guaranteed drop rate. And you have to be the first person to loot it. So if other people are there, they can get it. There are a few times I saw in a party, they would do it. But you know when you're in a raid like that and everybody is spamming their AoE thing and I have no repeatable AoE, at least that I know of. So I'm like, I'm done with this raid. So I kept flying by Orgrimmar. When you're doing that also, there is a little cliff that you can goblin glide off into. Except when you goblin glide and miss the cliff above the alley, you're right deep into the Orgrimmar. Guards are chasing you. Then Horde players see you and they're chasing you. I'm just running and I have all these guards and Horde players just attacking me. I die. Oh.
What tower is the guy on? Because you can hitch a ride on the top of the Zeppelin and just go right to the tower that way.
I just did flying because that way I didn't have to worry about guards or anything like that.
There are no guards on top of the Zeppelin. You just land your if you go to Northrend and the Borean Tundra, you just fly, you land on top of the Zeppelin as it's leaving, and it takes you all the way to Undercity.
I had thought about that, but if I flew high enough above Orgrimmar, the Wind Riders would not get me. And I kept dive bombing right into where I need. So here's Fraz just flying down. Woo! But on Monday afternoon, I logged in real quick to do it, and I got the Doomsayer robe, and I quickly got out of Orgrimmar and have never returned. Oh.
I don't blame you.
I don't know how limited this is. I'm actually kind of curious why we have Doomsayers right now, because we've killed the big thing. Right now, everybody knows what's happening in Silver.
I guess they're always just going to show up every time there's something going wrong. We were wrong last time, like real Doomsayers.
Yeah.
They're like the dude standing on the corner. The end is near! Oh god, the end is near again!
I could see with the old gods, yeah, maybe they're trying to bring in. So it could be into BFA. I would just say, if you want this robe, get it as soon as you can. Just don't go to Orgrimmar when there's a lot of players. I would always try to pick off times because I knew in the middle of the evening I'd be done for. I got it, so that's great. Still working on my allied races for Alliance Rep. I'm almost there with the Gushed Reach. The World Crest bonus event, it helped a lot. Along with the Dark Moon Carousel. Oh, that is just too much fun. Just like, wee!
Blankers, I had it the first day it was mathematically available.
I know. I
had it the next week because I wasn't really on the first week that stuff came out, but
I didn't play it enough to do that, so I'm still working on it.
Okay. It took me a long while to get Army of the Light and Argosian Reach because I had just moved to a PvP server, and I really hate Argus on a PvP server. Like,
I
can't fire.
I had hard enough time on Broken
every time
Sword.
I get in a pug raid. I'll join up, and all of a sudden, like 9 million horde jump on me. Like, I hate my life.
Yeah, I must hate myself an awful lot being there. I like people there, but it's tough, especially since you can't fly out there. So that's tough. I hate the forced aspect of it out there. And there's so many places that you can take pot shots at people out there. It just ticks me off. There's lots of screaming going on in my office when it happens.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to the 8.0 change where you can decide when you want that, or when it's Winter Veil on a PvP server and you're trying to get your medicine daily and some jerk rogue keeps attacking you every time. And it was like, come on, I need to log off. I'm just trying to get this alt.
Well, I feel bad because I'm reduced to 2 spells whenever it comes to like a big thing like that. So if I can't use Sunfire because that'll tag everybody, and I can't really use the moon because that'll drop it on everybody, and I can't use lunar flare because that'll hit 3 people around it, and then I'll get my butt kicked once they figure out that it's me, and then
yeah
they'll be like, get the boomer. So and I die.
Death to the Druid.
Well, and half my attacks are AoEs anyway, so I understand what you mean. As a warrior, my biggest thing is Whirlwind, because Whirlwind is the key to so many of my procs.
I am that Alliance player running around when I accidentally hit somebody. I'm sorry, please don't kill me.
me too. And I'm like bowing and like, I'm sorry. Cool news today. The Protodin on Twitter, and definitely follow them. They have great things, like great posts. They posted that Kirin Tor now lets you also get Argosian Reach and Army of the Light. And I confirm that. I'm now 1 to 2k away from getting my Void Elf.
Lovely.
Sweet.
I'm excited. Because it's like,
way to do the thing, Frazley.
Yeah, way longer than I should have had my stuff, but I wasn't playing emissaries for a little while.
Yeah, I feel bad for a lot of my friends keep saying that they're on Insurrection, and I have to think for a minute what the heck Insurrection is.
I know,
because it's been so long since I've done it. I'm like, what is?
Oh yeah.
How do you start that quest chain? I don't know. I did it a year ago.
I know. But then again, any alt that I get that's like that gets the Suramar, I'm like, I really don't want to do any of this ever.
Alts? What are these words you use?
I got Pathfinder about a couple weeks after it finally unlocked, because I kept working on the rep for it, because I was dedicated to getting Pathfinder to this expansion. I was like, I'm doing everything I can to get Pathfinder. I did Interaction after I did Suramar, because I was like, hey, I get him out. Fully unlocked Frazley's Arms Artifact and Netherlight Crucible, so just excited for the achievement on that. Thunder, my druids, now up to level 40. Finished Winterlands and Feralis. And knowing me, I get very hyped about stuff. I am now a member of the Discord Hype Squad.
Hype.
I love Discord. I love how people can talk. I love how we can be on this podcast right now talking. To me, Discord is awesome. I love it.
Well, if you ever want a buddy, my husband and I actually have little level 40 Worgans, or little 41s. We were checking out the new changes to the leveling. We just finished up Westfall, which was really a trip to be going in there at level 40.
Yeah.
And doing all the Westfall. That was just odd. But he's playing a druid tank, and I'm running around as a priest. So if you ever want to do dungeons, you just hit me up, Frazzle Pants.
Absolutely. I just got to make sure that my schedule works because that's my biggest thing. I've got a friend I've did a leveling stream with them and they're upset because I'm never online when they're online to do their stream.
Because you're always walking.
Yeah, walking, schoolwork, or podcasting.
Something.
Yeah.
Doing something.
I'm always active. Oh, and this was a surprise. Zephirah gifted me a sandstone drake. So thank you, Zephirah.
Oh, man.
That's awesome. I'm still trying to farm the darn recipe for it. So that's awesome.
They messaged me and said, hey, do you have a sandstone drake? I was like, no. So like they gave it to me and now I'm flying around and I was like the dragon. So I'm so excited. A little gnome as a dragon. And gnomes get some of the biggest mounts.
Yeah. You get pretty big. It happens every now and then.
Yeah.
It's not permanent, but you know.
I had a community spotlight on Zephirah's adventure. I've got a link at wayawesome.link/zfrazley, just because that way it goes to the post. But Zephirah asked me to do a community spotlight. I'm now among the greats like Thist, Xortz, and Scott Johnson. I'm like, and you asked me to fall behind those people? I'm like, I mean, just like, I'm nowhere near any of those people. So it's just...
Now, don't go imposter on us.
Okay.
Yeah, don't do that, because that's how I felt when you asked me to come on here the first time. And then you asked me to come on here with Red Pally Jill, and I'm like, oh my god, Red Pally Jill's always the girl that's telling me to keep playing guitar, because it's awesome.
And I love it. So far, the conversation has been awesome. So I'm like, this is perfect. I'll have to have you both back on it again at the same time again, because it's awesome. I love it.
We're the cool kids cafeteria table today.
Yes.
Oh my god, it's never happened before.
We're all cool.
I know. Life's greener on this side of the fence.
How did I become cool? I don't know.
I was always like anti-cool, and like people vaguely admired me just for my sheer bloody-minded stubbornness to not be like them. But
it's really kind of a trip to be liked because you like video games.
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, it's. I love that we're in the decade of if you have a passion for video games, you can speak your passion out and have people listen to you and have people like having fun. I mean, I love that.
Oh, I know. Like I've been in radio for 14 years now. And it's only been like the last 3 or 4 years that it's actually been really cool and okay for me to be more of myself on the air. I get to talk about Doctor Who. I get to talk about... I get to talk about like superhero movies and stuff. I get to straight up have a geek report. I get to be me, and it's great. When I first started, it was, you can't really do that. That's like not going to resonate with people, and it just sucks. I don't like playing somebody else. I mean, I play tunes, but they're more like me.
Yeah,
that I want to be.
Oh, and that's why I love. I love YouTube podcasts and streams because you get to see the real person and blogs. I love seeing the people behind who it is. You see their passion. You see who they are come through.
Passion.
Yeah. And plug for podcastlaunchpad.com. If you want to stream or podcast, go to Pat Crane's podcastlaunchpad.com. Pat did an awesome bumper for the show, so I always love to promote Pat's stuff because I used it to start up the show.
What service does he do?
He does like podcast consulting and like voiceovers. But what's really cool is he took all of his experience starting Convert to Raid and all the podcasts that he does and created a free guide for podcasting, but you could also apply it to streaming. You could apply it to YouTube. And he goes through like, here's how to do it on different levels, on different plans. There is so much information in this guide that he's giving away for free. I love it.
Well, see, that's good for people to know. You can't just say, oh, he's a great guy, he did this cool thing.
Yeah.
Tell these people stuff, man.
Oh, absolutely. So, yeah.
You read the guide?
Definitely check out Pat Crane, podcastlaunchpad.com.
See, and that's also super cool that we're in this day and age with our gamer geek friends that so many people are open to sharing and helping each other out. It's the best. I'm so glad people are getting with the program.
Yeah. Anybody can start any of these stuff. Look at me. I started this and I'm just like, I have the Jill and the Scruffy Druid talking to me now. It's just, I'm just like blushing and beaming if you can stay on Twitch. I'm having a great night.
By the way,
I'm having a good time.
Yes.
Has nothing to do with what you were just talking about, but if I forget to ask you this, I know I'm going to get reamed for it in my stream later. So, somebody wants to know if you're single, Frazzle.
Well,
Frazzle Pants, they're smitten with you.
You
have admirers.
Episode 12 of Frazzlecast The title is Married to WoW. Right now I'm married to WoW, but I will definitely become friends with anybody as long as they're awesome. We'll see where it goes from there. No promises, no guarantees.
I mean, I told them that Frazl's kind of, enamored with a gnome at the Hunter's Lodge.
Addy Fizzlebog. But if you look at my community spotlight on Zephirah's blog, Addy Fizzlebog does not return any of my BattleNet messages, so...
Zeph has been denied. It wasn't for me. I mean, I got a Mr. Scruffy Paladin, and I'm perfectly smitten with that. I had to throw it out there. I promised I would ask.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
See you blushing, so I win.
Being at Frazley number 1711 and scored Frazley 1711.
Oh, ladies, you just got his number.
Ladies.
Wow, chicken, wow.
This way to the Frazzle pants.
Those epic pants are going to drop anytime now.
Who needs purples when you can get legendaries?
I think my pants are legendary pants. It's either my pants or my ring.
See, we broke him 1 minute in, and here it is, an hour and 5 minutes later, and he's broken again.
Yes,
that's right. We got
love it. I'm naughty Morgan.
We're not even into the main topics yet. Oh, and
he's stunned. You can see the little purple swirls over his head.
Yeah.
Druids don't stun people.
I'm rooted right now. Rooted by love.
Yep, there you go.
That sounds like a really bad WoW song. I'll have to make that up and sing it for you next time.
Make me a Druid song.
Yes.
Rooted by love. Oh, did I tell you? Charm, the famous song parodist, she had a contest over the holidays by BlizzCon to write a poem about the cooking profession, and the winners would win a WoW cookbook. Well, I sent one in, and I was actually picked as one of the winners, so I'm desperately waiting to hear what she does with my poem, Gooey Spider Cake.
Nice!
Are you getting a WoW cookbook from it, then?
I do have one.
Awesome. I was thinking about the mana strudels in there today. I'm not really a sweets person, but gosh darn it, those mana strudels sounded really, really good today.
Versicolor treats. I think I'm going to make those, and I made some Hearthglen ambrosia for New Year's Eve.
That sounds good.
I don't drink, but everybody else just soaked it up. I even bought the little round bottles because I bought them at work, and the little round potion jugs.
Mm-hmm.
So I had it in those for added. I mean, they didn't know that it was totally authentic, but it made me happy seeing them all sit on the table. Potions.
See, one of the recipes I've done from that, I keep wanting to make a lot of the bread recipes. I have done the jerky from there, and it's really good. It's very teriyaki and yummy and sweet. And then what was the other thing? Lukewarm yak broth is freaking amazing, and I never thought I would say that because that just sounds wrong. Lukewarm yak broth, so good though. It's I
gotta think of a way to make gooey spider cake though.
Ooh.
Yeah, I need to try some of the ones from the Hearthstone cookbook too, because there's some good looking stuff in there.
Well, the same author did the Game of Thrones cookbook,
which I got for Yule, and I'm excited about that.
Awesome.
Haven't had a chance to cook anything from it, though.
Do they have the jellied calf brains?
I don't know. I think the only thing I've read through was breakfast and lunch at the wall. But it's really kind of cool how she does it, because she kind of makes more there's the medieval recipe first. That's kind of like in the medieval times. And then she modernizes it. And sometimes there's two modern or there's 2 or 3 recipes for the modernized version of it. So it's kind of cool. You can cook it a bit different ways to however you like it. So
nice.
That was kind of cool.
That's
there was
really
also
neat.
I went through King's Landing and I went through the wall, flipped through those. There's spiced pears looks really good. Yeah.
I made a real medieval pear recipe. It was pears and confit, and it's like a heavy ginger spice that you make with a reduction of wine, and you pour it over steamed pears. It is so good. And I use the leftover sauce is terrific on vanilla ice cream.
Mm.
You should try it sometime. I'll see if I can find the recipe.
I'm hungry now.
You know me, I love cooking. Send it my way, darling.
I will.
I don't cook, so I've seen people cook from the cookbook, but yeah, I don't cook.
You should try it. I mean, it's just following directions.
I went to a chocolate cafe yesterday, and I was kind of blown away. I mean, I'm one of those people that loves to cook and make really yummy things. Baking kind of eludes me, and seeing these perfect little chocolate squares with all sorts of different things inside them and on top of them, and how perfect they were. I mean, it was almost like clay creations is what they looked like. Those little fancy things that you would like slice and see pictures. I felt really out of my element yesterday. And then, of course, I ate a ton of chocolate and felt really fat when I got home.
Nice.
That's where you should be.
We need to talk about the elephant in the room.
My mom's not here.
No, I didn't mean that. So yesterday, Blizzard...
She died at Gilneas. No.
That's enough to make the dead person get back up.
I can't decide if that's foghorn-like or fart-like, even though I know it's a dying trombone.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's one of the worst types I've ever...
That's the most horrible thing I've heard, Frazley.
Yes. Woohoo! Blizzard decided to invite people to the Battle for Azeroth invite-only alpha. Is that
And
Wednesday?
Jill's the cool person.
Yes. Jill...
I have no idea why, but I take it and with a big smile. Yes.
And did I hear right that you were playing it earlier?
Yes, I got the email about midnight, and I installed it, downloaded the whole client. I played it till about 3 a.m, and then I realized that, oh yeah, I have to get up for work at 7. So I went to sleep, got up, went to work. Then I came back and I played it some more. So I took some notes, because I don't want any story spoilers, but just some impressions if you'd like to hear a couple of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Do it.
Okay, first of all, my first reaction was I logged in, and I've got the placeholder armor, and I'm standing there in the middle of the spooky road, and my first thought is, oh my god, I miss my Ashbringer already.
Nice.
A visceral sense of loss. It's a perfectly nice sword that they give me, but...
I know, I'm already not happy about losing my sight. I'm sitting here going, I kind of want to know what happens to it, but then again, I really don't. I don't want it to be true.
I think I have heard that if you unlock the artifact appearance, you can transmog into it in BFA.
I know, but if the story says I have to Excalibur it back into the Lady of the Lake or whatever they're going to do with it, all I can say is it better be a really cool quest, or I'll be upset.
It is not going back to Karazhan's Crew Medivh.
Even if it's got to go away and to be held for future emergencies and a future hero, well, okay, I guess that's a paladin thing to do.
I'll shoot it into space with the car.
Well, I mean, have you seen how big that sword is and all the energy it's expelling? Only an artifact could destroy it, if that's what happens.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. There's going to be something with that sword and the old gods that, to either we're about to really totally lose, like get over there now and do something about it, because they're already telling us that, hey, your artifacts might kind of need that. So, you're the one holding the bag when it all goes to crap. It's like, nice job losing the Ashbringer.
Yeah.
They told me I didn't have a choice.
And like the next one, we're all like waving sticks and stuff like that. Here, enemy. I'm sorry.
They can't make a sword cool enough to make me not miss my Ashbringer.
Yeah.
So that was my initial reaction, was seeing me standing there in the road all un-Ashbringerized, and I felt sad. There's a noticeable, at least in the zone I was in, Drustvar, which I'm just assuming they're going with the Viking sort of pronunciation of it, since I thoroughly approve of Kul Tiras being the sort of like Viking/pirate thing, and how they obviously have watched History Channel's Vikings and decided to like make Jaina into Lagertha. That's like, but with magic.
Yeah.
Is there anything cooler than that idea? I don't think so. So, but because I started at night, and then I logged in today, and no pun intended, the difference is day and night. There really is a dark to light difference in this zone anyway.
Nice. I've missed that from vanilla.
Me too.
See, I was like a huge geek when they started putting in the weather stuff. I was like, oh my god, it's raining, snowing.
I wish they would do more with
the world.
Yeah.
Why can't it snow everywhere in December? Why can't it snow in Stormwind?
Yeah.
You had a couple of models of piles of snow in a corner. There you go. It's winter.
Give me the Blizzard Arathi Basin. It's all time.
And I remember they removed weather from stuff, so I'm glad maybe we're going to get stuff back because they are upping the requirements for Battle for Azeroth. So maybe they're bringing things back that they took away for graphics.
It could be. And I just want to go on the record as being one of the people who absolutely loved like the waves over on Isle of Thunder, where it would have the waves coming into shore. I thought that was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I never saw that.
I'm a weirdo. I liked Isle of Thunder anyways because I liked how they did that and released content.
Yeah, I liked it too. I thought it was really well done.
Yeah, I kind of missed that.
And then, there was also that thing that I'd hop out of a portal, say hi to my homegirl Jaina, and then she'd tell me to go kneecap somebody for her, and I'd go take care of it, and then I'd come back and she'd make me dinner. It was like a mafia movie.
Why don't you and I beat people up more often, Rat Pally? Come on now.
I don't know.
We need to fix this. Let's go be like bloodthirsty togetger.
Okay,
bye,
we're gonna be like the Powerpuff Girls, but with blood.
Hey, everyone, it was a good show. You can find us at... Nice.
I get to be Buttercup. She's the toughest fighter. You had
Powerpuff Girls. Yes. Who would I be?
I guess you'd be Bubbles.
Okay.
Oh, thank God, because everybody used to call me Bubbles when they're like, you're like Bubbles. I'm like, I don't want to be Bubbles.
I can be Bubbles.
Be the green one.
Blossom, Bubbles, and Buttercup.
And thus the Powerpuff Girls were born.
Oh, man.
Spice and everything nice.
Dun, 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 dun.
So, Red Pelly, I have a question for you. That we were talking about that you have the original Ashbringer. Yeah, what was your initial reaction in Escape from Nirnhold? Did you ever go down to South Shore and then check out the origins of Ashbringer?
I did. As a matter of fact, when the instance came out, we were going to do the quest, and everybody was like yelling in chat, "Where are you? Where's Jill? Where's Jill?" Because the first thing I did was I went to South Shore, because that's where my hearth was from like level 20 in 2005 until the Cataclysm patch. So the first thing I love that place. Yeah. So the first thing I wanted to do was go in, and I'm walking and like, holy crap, it's Kel'Thuzad. Oh man, it's Helcular. I blast him into dust 3 times a day every time he pops out of his grave.
Oh man.
So you've got the fisherman talking about how Arthas isn't paying attention to his job because he's running around after Jaina, and that's hilarious. And then, you go into the bar and you get the medieval times floor show of like 3 times on the hour. You get to see the Ashbringer. Like, sweet! I thought that was just amazing. I'm standing around. Who knew? Because I didn't know anything about lore. And I just said, this is a nice city. So I parked Jill there. And then it turns out that it's like, if there was one place where you're going to take somebody who's going to turn out to be like the Ashbringer, Scarlet High Lord, and put her anywhere in the world, being from South Shore was perfect. And it was totally serendipitous.
I was such a huge lore nerd and vanilla, and I'm not as brushed up on it anymore, which kind of makes me sad. But I need to get back into that. But the first time I saw that, like, I think I missed the Ashbringer comments a couple times, but I did the same thing. I geeked out about like Kel'Thuzad and Hilliker and all that stuff. And then I went in there to like, I'll go back into Escape from Nirnhold just to watch that stuff. So I'm like, oh, it's like a history of WoW being made. It's great. So, yeah.
I actually made a joke about that, making fun of myself in one of my videos. Yeah, there's one where they're walking through the ruins of South Shore, and like in the middle of all this devastation, Jill actually stops and is like telling everybody that this right here is where the Ashbringer was made. I'm like, dude, shut up, Jill.
I think South Shore is like the one thing that bugs me the most. Like I miss that. I'm like, why is it gone? Why is it no longer here?
It's one thing. Okay, the story had to progress, and that's fine. We have to have a reason to like hate the Horde. Like we need another reason, but there should have been quests associated with it. I mean,
yeah, there really should have been.
The South Shore and Hillsbrad Fields were the last part of Lordaeron, the founding nation of the Alliance. And there was just nothing, not even until the beginning of Mists of Pandaria, when you run into Sky Captain Rogers, and she says, "I'm killing that horde because I'm from South Shore and they killed my parents." Like, good for you! Go get them! And she's like machine gunning the orcs in the back, and I'm like, you go! Yeah! South Shore, baby! But yeah, that's the only time they mention it, and that's just crazy. It was a real letdown on Blizzard's part. They dropped the ball.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff that just happens out of game that kind of bugs me, that if you don't read all the books and stuff, you miss a lot of that. And I'm sure South Shore was not part of that as well, but that always bugged me about between the expansions. I'm like, what the hell just happened? Oh, wait. Okay. And then I'll go back and read the book halfway through the expansion. I'm like, oh, that makes way more sense. I had no freaking clue about Warlords of Draenor. I don't really get how this happened, but I love that Thrall just drop kicked somebody through the portal. But I just don't get why we're here. And then halfway through, I'm reading War Crimes. I'm like, oh, Kairos is an idiot.
Yeah,
I get it. No wonder your butt's dead.
I've already pre-ordered Christy Golden's book on Kindle and audiobooks because I want to make sure the prequel alone, when I saw the prequel chapter and how it worked perfectly for Battle for Azeroth at BlizzCon, I was like, I got to read this book because there's going to be so much lore in that.
I did not read the preview chapter. I'm just waiting until the book comes out. But I've heard wonderful things about it.
I didn't know there was a preview chapter. I fail.
Free on Wowhead. It was passed out to press and media. Then Wowhead, who's always awesome, uploaded it. So I read it morning of BlizzCon.
Nice. Oh, and if you want to catch up on lore, everything I learned from Know Your Lore when Blizzard Watch was WoW Insider. And now they've still got Know Your Lore, but they still do it. There are some repeats because legal problems with the other site. But if you want to learn about WoW, everybody listening, that's where you want to go.
Oh,
go there, look up. Their authors are really fabulous at it.
And they have a great podcast called Lore Watch. I love both podcasts. I love Blizzard Watch and Lore Watch. But yeah, great site. I'm actually a Patreon supporter of them because I remember them from the WoW days, and I love what they do.
I'm poor.
I have a friend and girl streamer. So she's across the pond, so she plays on the EU servers. But she's a huge lore nerd as well. Got to guest over there on her stream every now and then, talking about some of the older stuff, and that's pretty cool. A lot of the stuff from Chronicles, the Warcraft Chronicles, are amazing. That's a huge wealth of knowledge. And of course, the Jane is a Dreadlord bit.
Yes.
So. That was hilarious. I mean, good for you, Blizzard. That was some funny stuff.
Yes, I love that Blizzard gets in on all of our jokes and stuff. Yeah, sure, no.
What's amazing about Blizzard,
whatever.
They will do all this lore, then they'll have pop culture jokes in their game, and then they'll do stuff like that. I love that Blizzard.
Rolling in the deep.
Yeah.
They just
Still my favorite.
Care.
Chris Farley in Draenor. I loved flying around to see him over there. And then I saw the Robin Williams memorial. I love that they'll put these things in with all this lore around it. And it's just it's incredible.
Like all the guards having lightsabers the day Star Wars movie came out. That was pretty neat.
Oh, absolutely. I actually, for some reason, missed that weekend. I was doing something, probably editing the show or something, but I missed it. I was like, so I saw pictures. Next year.
It's pretty neat. Just never know.
Yeah. And you never know what toys will be on different mobs and all that.
Yeah, I want that Doomsayer's robe because one of the models that's always standing around is an exact copy of Jill. So it's always like it's her doppelganger following her around. What do you want? Why are you here?
It was cool. I took a picture of me yelling at the Dalaran, "Citizens of Dalaran, lend me your ears."
Today, on this day, the Alliance has struck a blow. We're not dead.
Raise your eyes to the skies and observe.
Yes, there we go. You'd think after hearing that a million times,
I think we've all removed it from our memories.
It's shut up, Ronan. Shut up.
I wasn't around during that time, and I'm still fed up with Ronan because I'll go to Dalaran and I'll hear. Oh, and Deadly Boss Mods played a trick. I didn't have it on Mac, but I heard people on PC had it. They played a trick on PC players for April Fool's Day and made Ronan's speech nonstop in Dalaran, the new one.
Yes, They did. I thought it was hilarious. Other people were putting ice picks in their ears. I just laughed and laughed.
It didn't work for me, but
Citizens of Dalaran.
I don't know why mine didn't work, but maybe it saved me from trouble. So the alpha's going great?
Yeah, I mean, I've spotted a lot of typos that I keep reporting. They never fix, but I report them anyway because I love the English language, and it hurts me to see it abused. So
It ain't fun.
No, but I try. So if you ever see a typo, because I'm usually in like alpha or beta test, if you see one, it's not because I didn't report it and tried to get it killed.
I saw one and I tweeted about it, and then I got like ripped a new one about gender identity. Well, because this male night elf is telling like this male night elf, and he's got the male voice, and then he said he was a she. I was like,
I know,
I think you're confused. They're like, well, you don't know his thing. Like, I'm not.
You don't know his life, man.
They're like, maybe he's like the one in time, in the Caverns of Time. I'm like, yeah, but that one was actually speaking with the gender voice. This one was like male all the way and tell the text.
They might not change it. Maybe they did intend that, but if they didn't intend it, somebody needs to tell them.
Right.
Like the Order Hall guys, like when the Order Hall first opened up in testing, every NPC called me sir. Like, would you stop that? I get enough abuse about my voice.
No.
Everybody's linking music now. I freaking love them.
You are fools to have come to this place.
Oh.
I'm sure there's video somewhere, Rooster, of me singing Nim's music.
I'm going to watch all these videos later on. These look awesome.
I love that purple-headed stuff because it's epic. I think your weasel one for me because I'm swinging from the joystick.
With Alpha and with BFA coming, it kind of got me thinking, Ro is retiring his Warlock Ro. In fact, I think he's already retired in Argus. All three of us have kind of made an identity around our current mains. Like, I'm Frazley, the Awesome Gnome Warrior. Jill is Ret Pally Jill. Scruffy Druid is Scruffy Druid.
Which is funny, because my in-game name is Scruffy Druid. I'm Silent Song.
Well, my in-game name is Fraz. I can kind of relate.
Jilara. I wanted a name that sounded like it could be a real name, but isn't.
Yeah, Jilara. Either Jilara or Gelato.
Gelato's good, but Jilara's a paladin.
Yeah.
Maybe Gelato's like her Gilnean half-brother or something. I don't know.
Yeah, and he makes really good ice cream. Are any of us changing mains in the next expansion or changing our identity?
No.
Yeah, I figure that's like an absolute hell no from Ret Pally Jill. I mean, I'm pretty sure she's going to be a paladin until they obliterate paladins from the ends of the earth, and then she's still going to be a paladin. She's like going to come back and like smash us all in the face.
At the end of time, it's going to be like Illidan, the cockroaches, and Jill.
Yeah, pretty much. Let's see, I was a druid pretty hardcore in Burning Crusade, and then I came back in Cataclysm and went to my druid, and I've stayed there. So my druid is actually from vanilla. She hit level 60 the day before Burning Crusade came out. But she was a night elf, obviously, to begin with. You know, I've talked about earlier in the podcast that I might go back to Resto because I miss healing, and I've been a healer for the majority of my time in WoW. I mean, except vanilla and this expansion, I've always healed. Well, except for the beginning of Burning Crusade, I was also a tank then. But yeah, I've been a healer for just forever, and I kind of miss it. So I might go back Resto, or I might go back to Kitty, because Kitty was pretty much the only way I leveled her in vanilla. And then I kind of fake healed on her. So I might go back to that. I'm hoping that the expansion is going to be a little more alt friendly for me. I know tons of people have tons of alts in Legion, but I just felt like I couldn't be a successful raider if I played other alts. Every time I was on somebody else, I felt like I was taking away from my druid and that I wasn't getting her up to where she needed to be. And I don't want to let 9 to 29 other people down. I'm hoping it'll be a little more friendly and I could kind of bounce around a little bit, maybe work on some horde players a little bit more, but it's like what's alt? I know a lot of my viewers keep asking me about, well, when are you going to play horde? We want you to be horde every now and then. And I like playing with my horde friends. I don't get to hang out with them nearly as much because I'm always on my druid.
I tried with my sad little Belf paladin. I think I tried a long time ago on a Tauren. And every time I get to the same part, let's go see our new buddies over in, Terran Mill and bashing people's heads in with shovels and like, let's screw these people. I don't want to do nothing with.
Don't kill me, Jill, but my paladin, like I got one to 40 in vanilla and Burning Crusade or something that was a human, but I finally leveled one all the way up when it was a Tauren. And then I was sick of the horde side and I brought her allies side.
Don't make me post my picture about moo cows.
Hey, Red Bull gives you wings. It was great. I missed War Stomp. Once I got over to the Alliance and I was like grabbing like all sorts of mobs and stuff, I was like, God, I really wish I had War Stomp back so I could stun everybody. And
Suddenly this seems like a real bad idea.
every time though that I play, I get on my Horde Druid because I have one that is 110, and missing Feral and Frosty have seen it several times. When I was leveling her, I was almost in tears about how undergeared she was and how hard it was for me to play. I'm like, I'm dying all the time. I can't play the same way I play my Alliance Druid, and it frustrates me. And that's probably why I don't get to play her as much, because it's difficult for me. I want to, but this makes for lots of tears for the Scruffy.
My one actual alt that I still brutally ignore, but I do consider her my alt, is my rogue. One of my goals before Battle for Azeroth comes out is to get her the Mage Tower appearance, because as a former fencer, to have an actual rapier model, I gotta have those, but I don't know how I'm gonna get it done.
You fence too?
Wow, laser tag and fencing.
That's right, I'm my very own cheesy 1970s like science fiction book cover. Got a sword in one hand, a blaster in the other.
And you sing songs.
I was a reenactor fencer, so...
Oh, okay.
Yeah, were you collegiate style?
Yes.
Or were you... Oh, man, collegiate's like something else. I don't know how you guys do it. I don't know how like the one attack and then reset is. I'm all about you attack it till it's dead.
It's a little hard sometimes to keep track, because there is the idea of right of way in foil and in saber. You like epee.
I have an epee, but I like Schlager much better.
Well, Schlager's fun, but you'll poke an eye out, kid. That everybody does now. Like Schlager fighting was in like 1800s Germany. What they would do in the military schools is to show off how tough you are. They'd put you like right in front of each other, and you'd have to fight at close quarters with your swords. And if you backed up out of the circle, you were a loser. So you'd beat on each other with these swords, and that's why there's the trope, like in World War I, every time you see a German officer, they've got a big scar on their face or an eye patch, and that's why, because they really did have scars all over their face and eye patches, because they'd sit there doing their bro thing, hitting each other in the face with swords 2 feet away from each other.
My best Schlager shot, we were in a melee. For those that don't know, when you reenact fencer fight for like Ren fairs and stuff, they are tipped. They have like big rubber stoppers on the end of it, and they're duct taped to your blade. You're not going to hurt anybody. But the best shot I ever had was I hit somebody's kite shield right into his ding ding, and he wasn't wearing a cup.
Oh,
best thing in the world. He's like, I'm done. I'm like, I win.
Victory
for me. I miss it. I actually just got my fencing gear back, because when I moved to New York, I didn't know anybody out there, so I left it here with the guy that taught me how to fence a couple months ago. It's like, can I have that back just so I have it? Because I missed my epee and I missed my Schlager and all my other stuff, and I'm still missing some of it, but I got most of it back, so I'll probably never use it again, but
yeah, you never know.
I got it in the house. I feel more complete now. But yay for fencer girls! Woo! Hell yeah! We're guitar girls and fencer girls.
Right, we're like our own heavy metal video.
We can do it. We will do the thing all darn day.
Pew pew, clang clang.
It really does sound like an 80s movie, an action movie,
doesn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, everybody that's given Worgans crap about their posture, there is nothing wrong with the female posture, so poop on you. Come on now.
Yeah. Okay, now
stop throwing that Worgan posture around, and I see you're one of them, Fraz Pants.
Well, because I played...
2 women play video games, right? Okay, so already we're deeply in the 80s, so we'd have to make it like an arcade game to make it real.
Yeah.
Not only that, okay, we got the arcade game. They both have swords, laser guns. It is the best movie ever.
Oh yeah,
you know it.
And
did you realize that tonight on this podcast you were going to foster a wonderful mutual love? Rep Pally Jill and I, we're soulmates now.
Nice.
We're like bros, but women.
That's what I love about this podcast. It's bringing friendships together, and I've been seeing all these friendships together, and like I'm meeting people, so I love it.
Yeah, getting to hear Xortz for the first time and bantering with him was awesome, and then getting to meet Rep Pally Jill, who has just been amazing over the years and so encouraging. It's like, gosh, kindred spirits. I love it.
Well, and like I've talked to Rooster and After Hours and stuff like that. I got to meet MetaX Pearl, but it's awesome getting to meet different people, and it's just I love it. I love seeing people and people having a good time. Now, can I do the truffle shuffle in this movie? And can we find
Absolutely.
And then we'll find a pirate ship somewhere.
No. I hear you ballroom dance. I want the ballroom dancing.
Oh,
okay, yes.
Great big scene where you have to ballroom dance with the pirate queen.
Yes!
To save our lives, because we're being held prisoner.
And to get there, you have to play a piano with the floor that's going to fall down.
But when you open up the keyboard cover to the piano, brilliant light streams out.
Yes! Oh.
Magic.
This has to be a movie. Oh. Hulu, Netflix, if you're listening. But actually, they probably can't use it now because we said it. Oh, man.
Cheers to the pirate paladin and pirate druid.
Here you go.
Stealing away the frazzle pants.
Blast in your face with the power of the laser light.
Ooh, laser lights of love. Part of the ballroom dancing is also why I made my 110 orc mage into a human mage. I hated the posture. My dance teacher is always telling me to get better posture, and hopefully I do a good job on this stream. I don't know if they've ever watched me on this stream or listened to the podcast. They would find a whole new Frazley if they ever listened to this podcast. I know somebody who knows me who listens to the show, and they're like, oh, yeah, I learned things about you that I never knew. But then at BlizzCon, when I heard that the orcs were getting better posture, if you heard a scream of like panic and sadness and anger at BlizzCon in the Q&A, that was me all the way from Ohio just going like, I could have saved that money.
Oh, I've had practice making up bad movie posters, so there's my terrible VHS box.
Ooh.
There's our night elf.
When good girls go bad.
Our night elf Sylvanas on my...
Oh, there you go, yeah.
So that video I just linked, that's a video I made for my anatomy and physiology class. But the reason I link it for Frazley is because a night of dancing.
Nice.
You can watch it later. Like a night of this and a night of this leads to this, and then gnomes everywhere. Yeah. So once upon a time I made Machinima and I was okay at it. I probably should have stuck with it, but
Well, if you had, you could have gotten a job working with Taryn Gregory on the cinematics.
Does Amy like dick?
I could have. I mean, like, I maybe I would. I was never as good as Taryn, but I did enter a couple of the. I was really sad. One of the contests we entered, my buddy and I, who did Modern Deities, we did one for the Ataris contest, but they labeled half of them incorrectly, so there was half of the entries were under one person. I'm like, that's not us. That's our video, but that's not our names.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
This video's great.
So, yeah. So, I mean, it's very information heavy. And what's funny, though, about that video specifically is that we were all supposed to present different systems of the body because anatomy and physiology, and I had the reproductive system, ironically. Since mine doesn't work, they were talking, you had to have a visual representation. You had to have like a visual aid. We had made a couple machinimas at the time. And so very seriously, and in our class, we were not known for being ethically compliant because we were all very much jokesters and would laugh and joke with everybody in the classroom. So I pipe up with, can you show a video? And they all look at me because I'm apparently the lead jokester in the group. And they're like, you can't show prawn. And I'm like, I'm not talking about prawn, but I want to make a video and show it. And they're just like, is that going to be appropriate? I'm like, yes, trust me, it's going to be appropriate. And then that's what came out of it. And then they all told me to sell it to high schools. And I wish I could have, but it's Blizzard Entertainment. So
wow.
So there you go. There you have about why you should use protection in one of the videos I made 10 years ago.
The video will be in the show notes.
There. Yeah, we'll put it.
I'm over here watching it.
The guy that did the voiceover for me was the first guy that gave me my shot in radio, and then hired me to do voiceovers that's how I got my start in what I do for a living. So that's the stupid stuff I did.
Oh, nice.
I was much younger. I liked doing music videos much better. We were one of those groups of people that we actually did everything in game instead of using WoW Model Viewer.
Nice.
So we didn't want to use that.
I like that when it's possible. And the more they add into the game, it actually gets more and more possible with new animations and things like that.
Mm-hmm. It was super hard to do in vanilla.
Yes.
I still would love to see like an explorer mode, because they had like that in different games like Last of Us, stuff like that. It'd be cool to have that mode where you just explore things, not like giving secrets to raids. Like you would obviously have to turn things off, but that would just be fun.
Mm-hmm.
I think all of us have kind of said we're not really going to change, but I think we might all try specs, or at least I'm going to try Fury Warrior in the next one, because I don't have to worry about putting all my AP into one weapon. It sounds like with the neck piece, I can put Azurite into the neck piece and be any spec. So I'm going to try that.
That's a thought.
Yeah, that was the worst thing about the Druid, is that we had 4 specs over all the other classes, and trying to divvy it up between the classes. I'm still trying to get my other weapons caught up, and we're, like 8 months away from the new expansion?
8 or
6
less.
months away. Yeah. And I was sitting here like, I don't even have that boomkin up to 75. Son of a biscuit.
Yeah, I just today got another like Crucible, and I have been playing Frazley the most of all my alts. So, I mean, it's not like I have not been trying at all.
I hear you. I've been on my Druid since the beginning.
So the next question I kind of had in the main identity is, why did you settle on your current character? I think we kind of talked about it a little bit.
I want to hear this from Jill, because I've been dying to know why you are Scarlet Crusade, lady.
This is a long story, so I'm going to tell it, and you're going to have to listen. That's what you get for inviting me.
All ears. In all forms.
Wow, that's like 8 years.
I know. So I should be a good listener.
Double quantified.
If I could shut up enough.
Okay, way back when I was level 30, and the only way to get to the Scarlet Monastery was to have level 60 friends run with you, because I didn't have a mount, so they had to run. We had to run all the way from South Shore to the Scarlet Monastery. And along the way, because I've never played an MMO before, I managed to aggro everything, tag enemy players, and it just took us forever. I'm sure it was hell. They probably still wake up screaming about having to take me there that day. It was It was amazing. I wish there was such a thing as Fraps at the time, because it would have been the funniest video ever.
I remember.
So, okay, we finally get there, and we're going through, and I'm like, so they're looking around, and these people, they're, the Forsaken that were just chasing us all over the map, they're like, oh, they kill these guys. I'm like, well, that seems like a good idea. So we're going through, and the more we're going through, I'm thinking to myself, these guys have the right idea. Just freaking kill them, and burn the bodies, and let things sort itself out. So we get to the end, and I'm like, so when do we start getting rep with these guys? Because obviously we're going to realize this is all terrible misunderstanding. They're trying to get the people, the undead, out of the zombie apocalypse, out of the kingdom, and we're over here killing them. So, like, should I start saving Rune Cloth now? And my friends all said, "What the hell is wrong with you?" I'm like, we're not. I'm so sad. And then we finished the last wing. Like, well, there's one more wing left. Okay, da. What's this? Roll 90. And I had no idea why everybody was so mad that I won this Tabard, because it dropped my first time there. And all my level 60 friends were just absolutely livid that I won it. And I walked out, strutted out wearing it. Okay.
Is that Tabard still in the game anymore?
Yes.
It is.
Is it out? Oh,
But
okay.
It's back at its original terrible drop rate.
Okay, because I know I've got one on one character. I don't remember which one.
And certain armor types, if they wear that to Darkmoon Fair, there's a vendor who will sell them items.
Yes. And that's the other reason that makes me think they might be an allied race.
I could see that.
I mean, really think about it. And I will go and I will look on the armory and find all of my friends that were there with me, and I will personally make characters on their servers. I told you so. I should have saved Runecloth.
But would it be Scarlet Crusade, or would it be the Scarlet Onslaught, because they changed?
Well, the Onslaught went to Northrend. It was like the Green Berets, but the Scarlet Crusade stayed. So, and there were also the Crimson Order that were in Stratholme. So they were like the tip top, because they were the people around Saidan Rohan, who was the founder, one of the first 5 paladins, and the founder of the Scarlet Crusade. So they were like his personal guard. So there's actually the Scarlet Crusade, the Scarlet Onslaught, and then the Crimson guards that were in live side Stratholme. And that leads me to the second part of my story. So now levels have passed and we're in Stratholme. Okay, oh, we're killing these guys again. And I was still way under level. They're dragging me through. Okay, wait here and don't aggro anything. Okay, I'll try this time. I promise I won't aggro anything. So I'm standing there in the middle of the hallway. This patrol walked right past me and attacked all my friends. They're like, what the hell? It's like, I don't know. It's a sign. I told you these guys are awesome. And we got to the end. We killed them all. We come out and there's all the Scourge are flowing back into the area. I'm thinking to myself, we killed all the people and now the zombies are coming back. And how is this a good thing? We did a bad thing here. And everybody said, what is wrong with you? Like, that'll lead us to part 3 in Northrend. So yes, already the mobs weren't strangely attacking me. That was just a funny thing of RNG, but it really was funny. Stand there like when 6 Pats run past me and attack all my friends. Like, hey, you said to stand here, so I'm standing here. You've walked into my trap. Then in Northrend, this is the one that completely sealed the deal, was the Crusader Bride and Bread quest. And it was a very serious quest and a very sad quest when you know the story behind it. But if you really look at it, they gave you entirely the wrong message. Because they send you around like, oh, this guy's got the Scourge Plague. Oh no, we're going to save him. Okay, so they send me to our wisest wizards, and they can't do anything. They sent us to our top druids, and they can't do anything. And then you go to a Naru, like the equivalent in the game of an angel. And the angel says, there's nothing we can do. All we can do is make sure he doesn't rise as a Scourge. So right there, they tell you there is no cure. If you get the Scourge, you're going to die. You're going to be a zombie. What other answer is there than to kill them all, burn the bodies, and let things sort itself out? They tell you right there the Scarlet Crusade was right, that Arthas was right at Stratholme. And that's why I said, where's my tabard? I'm never taking this thing off. And I went and I started getting myself red armor.
Nice.
So that's why.
I like it. Every time you say kill them all and stuff. When I was in vanilla, I was a horde player, and that was our motto, was kill them all and let Thrall sort them out.
You got it. Kill them all, Thrall sorted out. Well, these were good guys. Oh well.
And the South Shore versus Terran Mill, I mean, granted, I was on the other side of it in vanilla because I was predominantly horde. I mean, that was why I wanted to get to level 60, is I wanted to do the defending of Terran Mill from South Shore and vice versa. Yeah. I never really got there, so it was super meaningful to me when they brought back the fight night for Terran Mill and South Shore. I was like, oh my god, I'm finally gonna do it!
Get back!
I can't move or do anything, but you know, Frazley,
and that was the other thing.
Sex bots. What the hell, dude?
Miscellaneous podcast. Listen to that.
My goodness, I never thought I'd see that word from you. Apparently, Jill and I are doing our job really well.
Wahaha! Hey, baby. I'm going to use my phone voice. How are we doing today, Frazley?
I'm doing great.
How was your walk today, Frazley? Tell me about all the steps you took.
It was really good, and I took 14,941 steps. So,
we broke them again.
Yes.
Yes, Frazzle Pants.
Is your story as crusade filled as Jill's?
Absolutely not. My druid, I think I said earlier tonight that she was actually a night elf to begin with. And in Burning Crusade, she actually, her story was that she was protecting a warrior. And then when I stopped playing my druid, I went to a priest. And so they kind of passed the baton of, okay, I'm no longer protecting this warrior, so you have to do it, priest. And she went away through the portals and went into the Emerald Dream. So, but I read a story once on the forums about this guy who had played a druid, and he had talked about all of his forms going against the undead and stuff. He was in a big mob, and the travel form, the cheetah, had tried to run him away as far as they could, and the feral form, tried to take down as many as they could, and they fought and fought and fought. And so that idea moved into how I played my druid, and I called her the keeper of the 5 souls, because I played on an RP server, and her identity became that every single form had its own personality, and
That's
they all
cool.
interacted together. They were all very much aware of each other, and it's kind of worked out well for since I changed her to a Worgen. That the running, because the whole Gilneas story, if you've played through the starting zone for the Worgen, you know that they're on the run, that you know the Gilneas is falling, and that this is pretty much your escape from Gilneas. You've tried to take it back. You're trying to get out of there. Her story now, she is still the keeper of the 5 souls. But, or, well, I don't know, I'd have to like recount how many there are now, but and I'm still trying to develop what the Boomkin is, and I just keep calling the Boomkin Bob because I have no idea. But her true form is the healer. So the one that's in charge, the one that's the actual Worgen human person is the healer, because you don't shift into another form. And I hate trees with a passion, so I will never be a Trent. I thought they were stupid and vanilla, and I am not going to do that now, but that's neither here nor there. Sin?
How do you really
No. I will tell you later. But so the idea came that I'm still working on her actual backstory for Gilneas, and it's going back and forth. Her name is Silent Song, and I had the idea that she no longer sang anymore. So her Gilneas background is that she's an alchemist, and she'd be kind of like the town healer. But at night, she'd go to the tavern and she'd sing. So she doesn't really sing anymore. And so while she was on the run, and bits of her kind of came out. So the bear is the more motherly, protective mother bear type thing. And the bear tried to get her away from there because that's the first form you get. Feral cat is the playful, childlike side that we don't always want to acknowledge. But cat is extremely playful. The stag is very, very wise. So stag and cheetah are the very wise ones trying to be the voice of reason. Bob, I have absolutely no idea about, because I don't understand Boomkin at all. I don't think anybody does. The Boomkin. So she's very much RP that way, that she's in form, she acts differently, but they all can talk to each other because they're all part of the same person and they all get it. And so they all kind of coexist together, and they all act
it's almost
on the same
like
side.
a multiple personality disorder, except they really are individual people.
Yes, exactly.
That's cool.
I mean, they're all very aware of each other. Healer is the one that kind of keeps together, but Bear comes out to protect her when everything's get really, really dicey. And she's also very, very protective of other people because they all are the same entity. It all kind of meshes together, but because everything that happened on Gilneas is so traumatic, it just fragmented. And Druidism was the way to kind of calm the curse. There's talks in my writing where she said that when she turned to Druidism, that they never warned her about the others that would be there, that there would be side effects. And it's not exactly a side effects, but that's just how her brain has evolved since the curse. She doesn't quite remember being human. Every time she sees her human self, she thinks that's the monster. She's like, I don't know this person. I don't recognize this person at all. All she knows is that Bear got her out of there.
Wow.
That's really cool.
Nice job. But that kind of carried over from my Night Elf, because that was kind of how she was played, but it's a little more set in stone with the Worgen. And I keep looking over at chat and I see things that say sex bots and Moon Guard, and I'm just like, no.
It was an episode.
Shame on you, Sin.
I started it because Sin and I were on an episode of the Miscellaneous podcast. Hey, Polly, if you're listening, it was one of the topics. So I started.
And my paladin is named Sin. Her name is Sonata, and she goes by Sin. It's freaking me out, man.
I'm blown away by these stories because, like, my story's not even anywhere near that advanced.
I was a hardcore RPer. I mean, I started a war on Cenarian Circle, so it was like extremely into RP, and so I thought about this a lot, and I haven't been as creative about it in the last 2 expansions, but like Zeph was talking about her priest story, and my priest has a very extensive story as well. I mean, she was the one that the baton got passed to from the original druid to take care of the warrior, and the warrior was an idiot.
Like a lore story, but that's another night.
Yeah, man.
On the next episode that we have Jill and Scruffy on, we will go through the lore.
It'll just be all lore stories. We'll just read tales that we've written. But,
ooh.
There you go.
Honestly, I was never really like a werewolf person, but I always joked around about the people that were hardcore, like overly hardcore RPers on Cenarian Circle, where you can't have vampires. And then in Burning Crusade, we got the Sand Lane, which were vampires. I'm like, how can we not have vampires when we have werewolves? Like, there's no such thing as werewolves. I'm like, really? What do you call the Sons of Argos, you idiot? Why don't you go like level through Silverpine and see what the Sons of Argol are? And, Argol's whole storyline about making those, which actually ties into Gilneas when you read the Peregrine stories, that Greymane got Argol to make the Sons of Argol to take on the undead, the Forsaken, and things just kind of went from there. And then there was the Scythe of Valoon, which also ended up making some Worgen. And I mean, like, we were there. We are freaking werewolves, people. And again, I never thought I'd play one, but I am absolutely over the moon for werewolves. And I always loved wolves when I was little. So, and Raid Dog was very wolf-like. So yeah, I was very passionate about wolves. So I guess it kind of makes sense I'm a Worgen, but
Did I tell you about my one experience on an RP server?
Okay, go for it.
Here it is in its entirety. I think I'll try an RP server. Okay, I make a character. Pop in at North Shore Abbey.
Oh, no.
I get a whisper. I have bitten you. You are now my vampire bride, bound to my will and witting. And I'm like,
were you on Moonguard?
No, and I know it wasn't Moonguard. I said, the hell I am, creep. And I deleted the character. That was it. There was my RP adventure.
See, this seems like something that would come from Moonguard. We made fun of Moonguard for that. And now that we are cross-wild, we see that an awful lot. But on Cenarian Circle, the stuff that you would get is you're not RPing the way that I would RP, so you suck. That's what you would get. I got that a lot. Like
chasing me around.
I had my priest was a big RP, and my shaman was also big in RP. And they were Draenei, and I had my own way to type out what they're trying to say in common that would reflect their heavy accent. And I used to get tells all the time that I am not going to RP with you because you're typing like that. I'm like, can you not figure this out? Like, you're a dick. You're going to like cut people out for RP just because they're not going to make it easy for you. What the hell? RP is not about acting the way that somebody else wants you to act. It's just kind of,
write your own damn character.
Yeah. I would much rather have the casual interactions, and this is coming from somebody that started a war, so that was big crap.
RP, like you'll just mess around in a raid or something, you'll find somebody who's willing to play around, and then everybody keeps yelling at you. Yeah, we're RP crap.
Oh my God!
I'm not from an RP server. I'm just having fun.
We had PV servers. Remember when we got the battle groups in vanilla, and you'd have 5 servers for Battlegrounds? We used to get so much crap from PvP servers because they're like, our peers can't PvP. And here we are RPing like 5 Horde members, RPing at the farm. Like, is it the farm? No, the stables. We had the stables, which was the Alliance main point when they come out of the gates in Arathi Basin. We're all like RPing there, and nobody could take it back from us. They're like, our peers suck at PvP. Like, the farm is ours, bitches. Come on now. What are you going to do about it?
I don't see you here not RPing.
I'm like, we're RPing and killing everybody. Bring it.
Nice.
Sorry.
Like time at the
I dropped the B word, Fraz. I'm sorry.
We've been explicit.
I was on the phone talking. Oh, I was in the middle of a game talking on my cell phone, shooting people and talking to my mom. That was pretty funny. Like, what are you doing on your phone? Killing you? Why?
I love RP. I hate any type of person that gets very much, well, you can't do this because you do this. I mean, I was in a hardcore RP guild that was, you can't raid if you're an RPer. Like, really? I've got an entire PvP guild that raids and is supporting an RP event. What more than you want? Like, I've got these people to support RP. You should be happy that they're trying to foster the community. No, they're PvPers. They're idiots. No, you're alienating people. Come on now.
Yeah.
For all the talk of inclusiveness, gamers can be incredibly
I know.
insular.
We could be the meanest to each other, can't we? Sucks.
Yes, we can.
Yeah. I was on an RP server for a little while. The only story I ever developed for Frazley was that he was an explorer and adventurer, and that he has a crush on Addie Fizzlebong. Or Fizzlebong! And, after I roam transferred to CTR, I get invited every once in a while back to RP events. So my story is that I'm a blood sail pirates. So whenever I come back, like, I just been out sailing with the pirates. So that's my story. For me, my character never had like a RP story, but I was a human paladin, a dwarf priest, a Pandaren monk, and an orc mage. I decided on Frazley, the gnome warrior, as I love the name. I'm 6'6" in real life, but I love being short in game. I also love being the object of jokes. Not sarcastically. I love being the object of jokes. I truly love that people laugh at my expense. I guess gnomes just speak to me. Short and stuff like that. And geeky.
They're also eternal optimists. You never really see a gnome down very often.
I love that. You broke me again.
What is that, 4 times? We're on a roll.
Wow, this is.
I am on fire.
We're almost to the agenda. Wow, this has been great. What do we think about the Kultiris human models and what they might mean for future customization and better inclusiveness? This was an idea by Jill, and I love it.
I'm all for it. I think it's about way past time. If they can't give us sliders, then they should give us alternate body types. Because really, nobody imagines their ripped mage. Let's be honest here.
Absolutely. And I wouldn't mind giving Frazley like a little beer gut. Kind of cool. Turn into like a little rolling ball.
Frazley drinks?
No, but we're talking about like human models and stuff like that. It'd be fun to have like different things. And like these Kultiris human models, they are marked as a character in the data files. Wildhound was saying, being able to use this for diversity and just let people be the body type that they want to be, or let people be something different.
That would be pretty cool. Wonderful. I mean, in Wrath of the Lich King, we started to see new model types. I mean, if you remember right outside.
Yeah, up in Farshire. Yeah.
Yeah. Farshire, right next to the Borean Tundra main camp there. That, I mean, we got to see new people, and that's never been available.
Skinny dude waving a broom at the bad guys. That was pretty awesome.
Yeah, and then the bigger guy that was like, the big farmer dude. But that'd be great and everything, but give me my Worgen update first. We've waited long enough. I mean, I'm a little salty about the fact that humans are getting such an upgrade and Worgens are still without their upgrade yet. Yeah, not that I think that the female Worgen are that bad, but everybody gripes about the male Worgens. And some people say female Worgens look like angry chihuahuas, but I don't see it. But,
Yo, you got cable?
That's not how I sound.
The 90s Taco Bell commercial.
Oh, yo quiero Taco Bell.
Yo quiero Taco Bell. That's one big lizard. Yeah, lizard.
BlizzCon Q&A said that 8.1 or 8.2, I believe, Worgen models. So they are coming.
There you go. They're working on them. You can rest easy.
We all are burning to talk about our Teldrassil theories.
Yes.
So, Jill, I'll let you go first.
Last thing I want to say, though, about the Worgen thing.
Yes.
Got this wonderful, beautiful Vulpera stuff. I mean, look at how beautiful the Vulpera look. They look amazing. And Worgens still look like this. And where the hell are our tails? I mean, Vulpera don't have tails, and Son of Argles and Worgens do not have tails. Where the hell are our tails? I want my ears, and I want my tail. Come on now.
And Vulpera, according to Wowhead in the second alpha build, are now marked as a character race.
See, if that is true, that's absolute-ish when it comes to the Worgen. Like, I feel like I'm getting screwed.
Maybe in the new models. No one's shown the new models yet.
I want to see some Worgen data.
Yes.
Jill, get on that for me, okay? When you see some Worgen stuff, like, tag me. I want some Worgen love, please.
Oh.
Ow.
Now Little Red Riding Hood by Sam the Sham and the Pharaohs is stuck in my head.
Run away, little girl, run away.
Run away. So, Jill, what is your theory about Teldrassil and why it burned?
Honestly, I think it is going to be... Didn't really have a time for like an really out there theory, but from the art we've seen, I believe that we will see the end of all 3 Windrunner sisters, and Varisa is the first to go. She somehow gets killed by Sylvanas or the Horde advancing on Teldrassil. That will lead to that would be really, they've shown that they're unwilling, well, Sylvanas is willing to kill anybody, but she was willing to kill her sister and her kids so they could be together, which is twisted in its own way, but but to actually kill them. I think that with Varisa as the balance gone, it will lead to both of them killing each other. So I think that's where it is leading. I think it is a deliberate act by Sylvanas. I don't think there's going to be any subterfuge or, like people are like, oh, Gen's just messing, did it to get Anduin into a war. I really don't think that's going to happen because Gen lost his son, who is about Anduin's age,
Yeah.
And I don't think he would go around manipulating him like that when it's obviously filling a void in his life.
No, he's been very much this expansion thinking that, Anduin is old enough to be a man. But, I mean, well, Velen and him both. And he's still trying to shield Anduin from those things. But I think once we took him to the Broken Shore, he was like, okay, Anduin's ready for this.
I'm Manduin now.
Mm-hmm. And he became more of the mentor at the end of that.
Yeah.
I think, where he was much softer at the end.
Yes.
Yeah.
From a protector to a teacher.
Yes, very much so. I don't know about that. Like, I could see that happening. And especially since if you're in Stormwind and you go out to where all the statues are on that main road in, Ilaria and Terralion are there talking about that. And Ilaria is going to see Sylvanas. Terralion's trying to talk her out of it. But Ilaria,
good idea. And you say Terralion's Terralion's the smartest guy on that bridge. Told you, Windrunners are all dumb as a bag of hammers.
Okay, point. But he's still a chump. I mean, I get it because in War Crimes, Ilaria and Sylvanas were meeting up in the old Blood Elf lands. They were meeting up at Windrunner Tower, and it was nice to see that different side of Sylvanas. It was really. Because she was very much family oriented. You're right. She was willing to kill Varisa. She wasn't sure about the kids, but she would have done it for her sister.
Poor Varisa, the Jan Brady of Azeroth.
I don't know. They all got weird names. Sylvanas. So,
Ilaria. Nobody remembers me.
Well, Jen does. Oh, sorry. I'm looking at Zeph's comment. Jen does die. Jen, whatever. Anyways, my Wolfie King, my king, dies in the cinematic, but he's brought back. But I think he cares too much about Anduin to throw him out there. I think you're right. I'm not sure that Gen has a hand in it. So I don't know. I'm interested to see what the actual thing that happens with Teldrassil, because I don't have a theory for it, unless the whole reason Ashen Vale Alliance and Horde were butting heads is because the Night Elves didn't want the Horde out there taking resources, and the Horde has been there taking more resources because that's what they were allowed to do. I mean, they've been taking more resources, so maybe they expanded more and they thought maybe they could get more resources from Teldrassil. That's the only logical thing I can think of, but the idiot
the Horde is just done sharing. Like, maybe we're just going to take all of it.
Yeah, maybe. But I still have a hard time wrapping my brain around what Sylvanas is doing, seeing her in this expansion. Playing through it hard side and seeing that she's kind of looking for immortality, it still doesn't make a lot of sense to me why they've exploded like this. I mean, ally aside, I get that at the beginning we would have exploded against each other because our king died and we don't really know what happened. I refuse to believe that after 2 years we don't know what the hell happened Horde side. I refuse to believe that. So,
well, probably, yeah, they probably found out maybe a month or so later, but by then it doesn't matter.
I don't understand why it's inconceivable that the Horde would have sent an envoy and said, "Hey, this is what happened there, and we are really sorry that this screwed us all." But
they're because Sylvanas isn't going to apologize about it. But Sylvanas sitting there writing a note saying, "We're ever so sorry." Yeah, that's not happening.
But Bane would
I get it,
because Bane and Anduin know each other and they have a mutual respect for each other. I mean, Anduin gave Bane a freaking hammer that was given to him.
Yeah,
so,
but,
I know that Bane gave it
here's
back,
Hammer. Oh yeah, you killed my dad. That's all bets are off at that point.
But I just don't see Anduin being as volatile as that to go
exactly. That's why.
So
that's why
I don't know. I'm thinking that maybe Teldrassil burned down because somebody was smoking or somebody set a hippogriff on fire, and I don't know. I mean, I know it has something to do with the Horde.
I just have an idea. I just had an idea.
There better be a darn good reason.
We know that Sylvanas was after immortality, and Greymane just flattened that chance for her when he broke the lantern and freed the Valkyr. So that option is off the table for her, and she knows that she can die. Now, the Azerite is incredibly powerful, and it's tied into the actual power of the planet and the world soul. That is the sort of thing that could also, if used correctly, give her immortality.
But so who was the one that originally went after the Azerite? It was not Sylvanas. It was the goblins.
Well, yes. I mean, they're trouble to begin with, but I mean, who's going to protect the goblins if not the Horde?
Time is money, friend.
Well done.
Yes.
But So they need the Horde to protect them, whatever they're doing. And she looks at it and says, well, there's going to be something in this for me. I'm betting the Night Elves find out something important about it, or because the World Tree is corrupted from the start, because it wasn't given the blessing of the dragon flights. So whatever it is, the Night Elves are going to find out something about the Azerite that is desperately important, or they find out about it before the rest of the Alliance, and she's trying to stop the news getting out. So she just steamrolls Teldrassil in the hopes that this information won't get out, but it's already too late. And as you said, Anduin's not that volatile, so the Alliance has always been more reactive. They might throw us a curveball and have us start trouble for once, but I don't think so. They might. You never know. But in the case they go the same thing of Horde acts, Alliance reacts, is that would be big enough. Destroying, Teldrassil would be enough to get Anduin to say, okay, these people need to die, and it's time to go to war.
Wow. I like that.
I could kind of see that, but I mean, our reactiveness has been, we had Anexia as our leader proctorate for a while, standing in for Anduin, because Anduin was just a kid when Varian was not around. And Anexia was all about causing chaos because she's a freaking black dragon. And then, we get rid of her and stuff. Anduin's still not there. We finally get Varian back, and you can't blame Varian for being reactive because he'd been enslaved by the Horde for a while. And it's true that the Horde were just trying to, kind of be peaceful, trying to make their own way, trying to live their own life and stuff. But yeah, there's going to be butting heads, and with Anexia fueling that, that's kind of how we got that reactiveness. But then we spent this whole expansion in Mists of Pandaria with Anduin campaigning for peace. And the only idiot to making things blow up between the two of us was honestly Garrosh. We got rid of Garrosh. So,
and Rathian.
Rathian's still floating around somewhere.
Doing his black dragon thing.
Yeah, I don't know what he's doing, but he's doing something. Didn't show himself in Warlords, but he was still talked about. So, I mean, Varian learned from Anduin, because Anduin's whole entire expansion campaigning for peace, even when he got the crap beat out of him and his leg broken, he was still campaigning for peace because he knew it was just Garrosh and his twisted line of thinking. And even halfway through Warlords, Varian was kind of singing the same tune. So we grew as a faction. You realize that it was us putting aside our differences, Varian learning to trust Sylvanas, and Sylvanas was still there for Varian. She only pulled out because they were all going to die up there. And it would have been the same thing down there for the Alliance if Varian sacrificed him. So he couldn't get everybody out of there unless something dealt with it. So really kind of the only casualty was Varian, and Vol'jin, because that's what happened there. Tyrion was later. I played through that Paladin campaign.
Yeah, but he was taken prisoner and, tortured for a month.
True, but that was a catalyst. He didn't
die instantly. It was the start.
But that was a catalyst for both sides. Neither side wanted that. Sylvanas still had her own agenda, but she's been working on that since Mists of Pandaria, because that whole bit about her
destroys the world. It destroys her with it. So I think there was no altruism there. No, we've got to save the world together. I got to save me. And how I'm going to best do that is to get the Legion off this planet. So I'm going to have to gag down working with the Alliance.
Not so much her. She's actually, through war crimes, she started to think about the Forsaken more as an entire race, that they were all in it together instead of just her. Because she said it multiple times during it that, okay, well, they're just arrows in the quiver. They're just tools for,
that's not
and into it means, but now they're like the main thing.
I don't know. We'll see.
Absolutely.
The jury's out on that one.
I was kind of disappointed playing through the Horde side of things. I felt like I didn't get more story Horde side. It didn't make much sense to side.
Well, it makes up for South Shore not getting any quest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And wow, I cannot follow up these theories, because mine was that the Keebler elves were in the World Tree. And they had an issue with one of the fires.
They hired Nomi.
Yeah, I hired Nomi to help run stuff because costs were going down.
Panda.
And he burned down the tree.
Let's kick all the Pandarian out for that.
Yeah.
Damn Pandarans.
Get out. It's our World Tree. Wow. This has been... I'm loving all this lore stuff. The second alpha build came out. We talked about the Vulpera. The Flight Master Whistle continues in BFA.
That's awesome.
That is good to hear.
I still forget about using that.
Me too.
Oh, I use it all the time.
It's still amazing.
I use it on Argus.
Serious.
I did use it recently today on Azuna, and I finished a world quest. I was too lazy. I wanted to go use the restroom, so I did the flight whistle to a flight master, and then I flew to my next place. No idea yet how we'll get this upgrade, but one thing I would love, and I was hearing people on Twitter, can we get a flight whistle for low-level leveling? It would just make things so much easier.
Well, the whole point was to make leveling matter again, and if you do that, you might as well just give people flight.
Yeah, I thought that was a little weird. For some reason, I had it in my head that I would flight. I don't know why. I think it's just because they made changes to the flight. I don't know, flight learning, because they made some changes for like level 16 above, right? And they consolidated some stuff.
Yeah.
For some reason, I thought that I was going to be able to fly around at a lower level, and that is definitely not the case.
No, it's the level 60 flying skill that now you don't have to get cold weather flying, Northrend, or Pandaria. Once you get one, sense. So it saves a lot of gold. I had to destroy a grimoire of the Four Winds.
Ouch.
Yeah.
That was a guild killer in Burning Crusade. Getting epic flying. Everybody was so pissed at me that I was able to afford epic flying and they weren't. Because alchemy was the shiz.
No kidding.
Everyone wants those potions.
Give me those flasks. Give me those flasks.
All right.
They also found a hidden gloves cosmetic. Wildhead speculates that we can finally hide gloves in Transmog.
Am I the only one that likes the bigger gloves? Like, I like the original vanilla gloves.
I do too.
I don't like the boots that match them because it looks like you take gift wrap tubes and stick your legs in them.
Yeah, I mean, the boots are something different, but for some reason, I just think the gloves, when they're poofier, kind of pull some things together.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Just as long as you're not the poop smith from Homestar Runner.
You know, you can hide gloves. There's the Exiled Dabbler set. The gloves are actually just cuffs.
Oh, okay. I need to get some of those things. Like I need to get all the ones, but I don't think you want a naked gnome running around.
Hands can get used for the picking up the poop for poop quest.
Yeah.
I don't know, like I'm one of the ones that like I really liked for the Druid the Spring Ring set because it brought back the whole Wild Heart look.
Yeah.
The Wild Heart look had bigger, floofier cuffs for the gloves. And that's not saying I didn't like some of the set gloves. When the set gloves match the entire set, that's one thing. But for some reason, I feel like some of the bigger gloves match some of the random transmogs I like to make.
And there is now a new meow emote.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
It's about time.
Like you can /meow and just meow, or you can meow at people. So that's part of the BFA. And Scruffy made a note that it's about time. I know a warlock who would love this emote. And I tweeted them and they said meow.
I got some practice in.
I've always wondered why we had the bark emotes, the dog emote.
Wait, we have a /bark?
Yeah, you can bark like a dog.
Oh, I never do that.
Yeah, I've never understood why we did not have a meow, considering we've had cats since vanilla.
I don't know.
Now we can.
So
soon we will all be able to. We'll be freed from the shackles of dogism.
Yes.
You know what this means? All of you other pretenders can act like a druid.
Yeah.
True.
Come to the druid side.
You have 4 specs.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's a real bother for my t-shirt shop. Because I've got everything set up to be, like, all the displays to be 3 items across, and then the druids come along and mess up everything. All my tiny columns.
Well, you know, shift happens.
That's good.
There, this is my one pun for the night. I'm not so good with
another
the puns.
thing I wanted to say about the alpha test, without any spoilers, the quests in the zone that we have open right now, we were talking about how awesome EPL was. It really is a throwback to that. It's very creepy. If you remember the old game, The Seventh Guest, just
yes!
sort of like creepiness.
Oh my god!
House
of Strahd had guests, and oh my god, that was an amazing game. I never beat it, but I still love it.
So yeah, it's that sort of like old school creepiness, almost like a Hammer horror movie. And it's nice to like walk into a graveyard again and be attacked by ravening undead that can actually hurt me. So it's pretty sweet. I'm having an absolute knockdown blast.
Woo-hoo! Oh man, I did that warlock.
Wake of ashes.
I did that warlock trial last night and then the day before, and it sent me to, it was very, very much like doing the Scythe of Elune quest for the Druid, because it had the Dark Riders, you had to go out to Duskwood, you had to go deal with all the stuff in Karazhan. It was kind of neat that you got to see why there were all these bodies in the trees and at the bottom of the ravine, because the idiot with the scythe did that. The Warlock Scythe, not the Druid Scythe. The Dark Riders stole all the artifacts and put them in Karazhan. But I'm like running through the field, and the trip was that here I am running through Duskwood, and everything is level 60. Last time I was out there, they were like level 24.
Right.
They still didn't attack me, but it's just like, wow, they're so much higher level now. It's hard to get used to.
Yeah.
There you go. Like, wait a minute.
You've been working out.
Look at you. They're like all wandering around and didn't run at me, but it was still neat to see them higher level. Little trip.
Hi, this is Kilrock's site, and I would like to update everyone of the changes in Love in the Air. You now need to be 98 plus for a mount drop chance. Also, what's happening with this upcoming week will be the Time Walking event. It will be for Lich Kings, so you'll need to be 81 or higher to queue. There will also be a Wrath of the Time Walking raid starting for 10 to 30 people. You travel to Dalaran in Northrend and speak with Valmu to access the Time Walking vision of Aldar raid. Also, what will be happening is the Lunar Festival, February 17th. At this point in time, there is no new added information. On February 23rd, we'll be having a hatching of the hippogriffs. Flayfeather Highlands in central Fairlass is where you want to go. Sitting on one of the nests will hatch one of the hippogriffs. Once you've acquired a hatchling, there's a rare elite. Lord Lithium will become very hostile and drop an item that will increase the duration of the hippogriff to 5 days. So this is all for now. I hope you have a great holidays and see you later.
Still no rocket.
Yeah, still no
rocket doesn't exist.
I agree with the Blue Recluse. I think it doesn't exist. I think it's a conspiracy.
A clever myth.
Yes.
See, and the moment that I said that about the Headless Horseman, I was streaming and I was griping about how that darn thing didn't exist. And then I opened something and I got it, and I felt very horrible afterwards. Everybody was so mad at me.
Baron Rubendar's mount. 9 years.
I still don't have it. I've seen it drop once. My twin was with me, my self-proclaimed Warcraft twin.
I've never saw it drop until then.
I was griping about how this thing's going to drop, and you know what? Somebody who's not here is going to win it, and sure enough, it was my twin.
Well, at least it was somebody you like.
Right. I'm still mad at him.
It's like my cousin. I tried to explain to her once that on her birthday, I had to go to her birthday, and I missed. It was already like near the end of Nax, and we were doing the level 70 raids. And I said, well, I'm going to miss it. And I went to her birthday party, and that was the night the corrupted Ashbringer dropped. And I'm never going to forgive you, Vicky. Like, what?
The day that my guild got down to Farian was the day that I drove to Manhattan to see the guy I was dating. And he was in the damn group. And I get there, and he's taken down to Ferry, and I'm like, you're an asshole. Sorry, Fraz.
Oh, no.
I was so mad. I got there, and he's like killing the fairy, and I'm like, I hate you. I hate you right now.
You're not my boyfriend anymore. I'm going home.
I'm missing this.
How could you?
I get there, and he's like, yeah, Shadow just walked in. And the fairy goes down. I'm like,
We both have issues in our past.
I know.
Corrupted Ashbringer. I had 7,000 gold in my bag waiting, and that was a lot of money.
Yes, it was. Oh my gosh, yes.
I'd been saving up for like ever, just grinding everything to have this bag full of money in case it dropped. So then the next week, Might of Menethil dropped, and it was like the second to last week before it was gone. I said, well, okay, it's the corrupted Ashbringer is not going to drop again.
I
spent 5,000 on Might of Menethil, and I'm glad I did because I have it. And the next week, corrupted Ashbringer did not drop, so I did the right thing.
I still have all the stuff for Anathema and Benediction in my priest bags, and I had never went to go get it, and now it's not in the game anymore.
I still have like war-torn cloth scraps and stuff like that on a bank alt from the 3 armor set. I actually have all of the parts, even the frozen runes, for my T3 helmet that the token never dropped. But I wound up getting it through the black market auction house. But it makes me happy to know that technically I still have all the stuff. I don't feel so bad about buying. I did my job. So if anybody ever needs like a frozen rune, you can pay me a hell of a lot of gold for it. Or the brazier for the Dungeon Set 2 conversion. I have a brazier. There's one boss left you can summon and get loot off of.
That's right. Yes, I remember that. Like I had started doing that on my Druid not my Druid,
so
my rogue.
45-minute Baron. I jumped up, I cut my whole kneecap on the underside of my desk, and I'm like crippled, holding my knee, and I'm still running around going, woohoo, oh god, my knee hurts so bad. Oh.
The Gold Queen takes the cake for like some of the worst RNG. So the Headless Horseman mount dropped. She was in a group with someone she was dating at the time. She passes on it to let him take it. He then dumps her and stops playing the game.
What a dick bag.
That's why you're never nice to anybody.
That's right.
Yes.
See what comes from trying to do good? Heartbreak.
No good deed goes unpunished.
Woo!
And I think that's a perfect transition into our Epic Mistells, because Jilara, we had read this earlier, but I want to hear it straight from you, because we loved it.
It was so bad.
I remember seeing this on Twitter. It made me cry.
It was right near the end of BC, right in there somewhere, and we were trying to get raiding, and it just wasn't working out. We couldn't get the people. So I logged in. Everybody like, hi, Jill, how are you? And I'm in guild chat, and everybody's sending me, we love you so much, Jill. And this is going on, and then it's been long enough that the statute of limitations is up. Verlaxis, wherever you are, I still hate you. You're a piece of trash. If I ever see you, I'll slap you in the face. So Verlaxis sends me, I get another whisper from him. I just wanted to tell you that, like, Jilara is the worst GM ever, and we're all going to G-Quit as soon as she logs out and, like, make our own guild. You should join us, too. And I'm sitting there and I'm looking at it. I'm like, what am I seeing here? So I turn around and I'm like, here's the update, everybody. I just G-kicked everybody that they mentioned. Like, I'm leaving and so-and-so's leaving. I'm like, G-kick, G-kick, G-kick.
Nice.
Every one of them, as they're disappearing, they're all in G-chat saying, what are you doing? Why are you doing this to us? Oh my god, you hypocrites. Come on, we're all going to party. Have fun in your new guild. And then, they're afterwards, they're all whispering me, oh, I'm glad I did it. Oh, you told me. How could you do this? We're still good friends. We're not friends. You just told me I'm a terrible GM. You're going behind my back. It was the best terribly timed mistel for Verlaxis's part ever. And I will treasure that burst of white-hot justice rage that I felt when I G-kicked every one of them into the next zip code.
Nice.
Kind of in the same vein, but it was not a mistel. I was in a guild where I was an officer, and the officers were getting to the point where they didn't want to listen to the guild members, and I would bring issues to them saying, hey, these people do not feel comfortable coming to DM to talk about this stuff. And they're like, well, that's crap. And that obviously didn't happen. And it was getting worse and worse. And I was getting ripped a new one for starting to raid with other people because I didn't want to raid with people like that. I didn't want to raid with people who played favorites. I didn't want to raid with some folks that were very nonchalant about rape jokes, and which had nothing to do with the officers. It had everything people that were raiding with them. And like, I called them out on it. And then it was like a week later, and I finally decided to leave the guild because I had a better offer and I could do mythic raiding and stuff. And it was not a good situation. And 5 minutes after I left, I got this text message that had, don't let the door hit you on the way out, after I had left the guild.
Oh,
I was like, wow. And the kicker was they're a friend in real life.
Not anymore, I hope.
I was like, really? Really?
and over
So there was like 10 months of not talking to each other, and now we've slowly started to talk. And I got this big apology from that person, and I sent them the screenshot, and I said, so do you want to talk about this? Because this made me feel like shit. It's like, that's horrible. That's a horrible thing to say about somebody who was like your biggest supporter outside of the game. Not cool.
Absolutely.
So it makes me sad about that stuff. I mean, the reason I don't play Horde side anymore is exactly because of that stuff. Because I talked about it a little bit earlier that people were mad at me that I had made enough in the game to buy Epic Flying and Burning Crusade. And because I was an officer in the guild, they're like, well, you should help other people get it. And so, I thought, I could do that. I could help other people get it. Well, then the two people that they're griping about it got it and then wouldn't help anybody else. It's like, you know what? I'm taking all my gold back and we're done. Good. And then got booted and they're like, well, you're a horrible person because you're a jerk. I'm like, no, you complained about this and I helped you. And then you're telling how I'm trash for this. And I had started to play Alliance at the time, and the top two people were the ones that had been playing the Alliance the entire expansion. Great. And then got mad because an officer started to play an alt that was on the Alliance side. Like, you don't have any reason to gripe about this. So yeah, Horde left a really bad taste in my mouth, even though I loved them and I loved the Horde side stories. But that's why it's very hard for me to go back, because I don't want to play with people like that, and I feel like that every time I go there.
I don't blame you.
Yeah,
I actually deleted everybody that I played Horde side except for the rogue that I made that was in some of the PvP and the raiding guilds that I went to after that horrible debacle.
Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you both for sharing your Epic Mistells. It at least shows that people can be mean, but you aren't alone if something happens like that.
Yeah.
No, man. The guild that I got.
An idiot.
Yeah, the guild that I went to after the guild that I've been in forever. I mean, I like to raid. It's no secret. I got excited when I got to raid heroic stuff, and I don't really want to raid mythic because I don't need WoW to be a full-time job, because I already have my own business and I work full-time outside of my business. It's too much for me. I have a hard time admitting when things are too much, but you know what? That's too much for me. I've done that. I wanted to raid with some friends Horde side, and I got a new one about that. And, I got my friends crapped on by the guild I was in because they wanted to help out Alliance side. And I hated trying to play with people and being made to feel like I was a jerk about it. And when I finally got the nerve to go somewhere else and hang out with people that I had fun with, I was shocked that they were one of the top raiding guilds, and they were just so nice. Like, they never made me feel like I had to be there. I'm still friends with so many of them, and then ended up going to another guild that wants to focus on Mythic. And they kind of want to take me, but I don't want to. But they take me along to Heroic, and that's huge for me, and I like it. And I haven't got to do Heroic raiding for several expansions. So I like that I get to do that now. And that's what you got to remember about Warcraft. You got to do things that make you happy. Even if people are making you sad, but you like kind of being there, it's not worth it, dudes.
Absolutely. Find a community. Well, I would have never have left WoW if I had found the community I'm in now.
Yeah. I still attest to the fact that Convert to Raid needs to adopt me unofficially.
Oh, it's just...
And now I'm over there.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not there full time, but I want to be an honourary member.
Oh, absolutely.
You guys are cool.
Absolutely. Anybody's welcome to join. Just fill out the application online. And we have an officer in chat, actually, who definitely be open to getting you in. As long as you follow all the rules. We have to check all the backgrounds checks.
That's right. They were telling me about, you need to be level 15 over on Airy Peak, and boosting somebody to 115 is not a problem.
On Twitter, I just put it out there. I was asking people, is your WoW race or class part of your identity online, Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, etc.? And will you be switching your identity to a new race class? I thought I would only get a couple responses. Spanky Hunter says, I have used this name character since MOP. Before that, I had another name. The change was confusing for a lot of people, hence I now stick with one naming convention. Throughout all my Toon social media stuff, multiple names is confusing for people. I'm Spanky Hunter everywhere. Lita says, I have many alts, however, I will forever be an undead warlock.
Me too.
Brewmaster Wansu says yes and yes. Scrimshaw says, since vanilla is retail, I have played the same warrior because, like in real life, I prefer to be in the action. Started human, but always wanted to be an orc. Went orc in the Burning Crusade and never looked back. Grave CTR says, I have been Grave since day one. I will continue to be Grave until the day I stop playing. Number 1, Scruffy says, one day when I have beautiful Worgen ears, I will absolutely run around in the Worgen. Hey, Scruffy, if you're listening, I would definitely love you on the show. You sound really cool.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Amara, I am who I am and will play my Pandaran Shadow Priest until the end. Tysher says yes and no. I'm an altaholic, so I'll keep my main as a Goblin Lock and just make more tunes. Archdruid Feral says I will not be. Not because I favor night elves over every other race and game per se, because Shadow Meld is just too awesome to lose, and I don't like the Worgen Druid's hunch. I'm highly invested in my main and can't conceive of swapping to anything else either. I'm just laughing at our earlier conversation.
See, the reason why, like when you're talking about identity outside, I've asked Kazel if she ever takes commissions to please make me Worgen ears, and I would love to have Worgen ears on my cans, my headphones. I would love to have ears there. I'm all about the ears and the tails. I don't need a fursuit. Just give me ears and tails and I am all there.
Nice.
Now me, I took an old shield from the Renaissance Festival, those wooden shields they sell for the kids, and I painted a great big red Lordaeron L on it and made it into a sword hanger for my bastard sword. So I'm happy. Hanging right up on my wall next to me.
My
nice.
poor hunting sword is like in the corner. Somebody asked about it when I was
for a guy. For me, it's two-handed.
Yeah.
Lady Emma said that she's been Lady Emma the Warlock since 2004. Her current tune is from 2006, but her old Lady Emma is on her Exodus account. Stone says, I've been stoned since the Burning Crusade. All my characters have the word stone in it somewhere. No plans on changing that anytime soon. Deceiver says, it is, and I don't. Mechaneer Sicko Thermoplug says, yes and no. I play mainly gnomes and goblins. They are the lens I view the game through. I like brains over brawn, but I can't play casters. The playstyle of magic users doesn't suit me, so I end up playing warriors, hunters, and rogues. I'm anti-magic, and race is a more cosmetic choice than class, so you can freely pick whatever you want. Lanian says I use the same gaming handle for everything, and my display photos usually have something to do with my purple-haired night elf mage. Even if I'm having fun playing others, I think she'll always be me. Discussed said I am mostly a Worgen player. I'll probably still be a Worgen. I also created this as a druid, but I play a priest now, so I doubt that I'll change anything in BFA.
That must be Discoence.
Discoence, yeah.
Yeah, I call him Disco. He's one of my favorite. He used to be a tank that I ran with, and now he's an amazing healer of my butt when we PvP.
Nice.
He's really cool.
Lisia says, even when I try to switch, I can't. And Torek says, no, I'm pretty new to WoW social platforms, Twitter and Discord, and go by Torek. But my main is a different name and isn't really seen anywhere other than my banner image here. I might change mains, though, and just go with the same name across the board. Thank you all for giving your feedback. It was one of those, I put the question out there, and wow, thank you all. You all delivered.
See, here's what's weird. If I analyze all, it's not so much that I have the same name, but the majority of my characters start with an S, because I have Silent Song, I have Scruffy Song, I have Sonata, I have Saya. Shadow Ash was my first amazing character that I fell in love with. That was my rogue. I had Shivel, which was my priest, that eventually turned into Saya. I think the only ones that are not following that naming convention are Honorasi, which is my demon hunter, and it was my original paladin, but my paladin has changed into Sonata. And then Feowin, which is my shaman.
I have, the only naming convention I have is, like I said, I like names that could be real but aren't. A couple of times somebody else got there before me, so my rogue has a last name accidentally. Someday, I don't think I've seen that character around much. Maybe I should put in to have the name cleared out so she can just be herself. That'd be nice.
I don't think Blizzard does it anymore. They now have an automatic purge, but it's...
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I'll have to check.
Yeah. I don't have a naming convention. I use random. I originally was Frazley, which was a name that the random generator gave me on my first server. Then I moved to an RP server. Frazley was taken, so I became Frazzle. And actually, Frazzle's perfect because when I get nervous, I kind of get frazzled.
I love it.
Noticed.
Yeah. 5 or 6 times tonight.
I finally loaded up WoW, and I'm trying to talk because I'm in game, and that's how it works. And that's not how I have Discord set up right now.
When I'm streaming games, and I don't do it anymore because I just get focused on the game and I forget to talk.
Well, you were talking about the love rocket. I'm like, shit, I haven't done it today. Sorry for the S word.
We've been explicit since like the first 5 or 6 minutes. Same with vanilla.
Okay, point.
And we're already banned in India. We've been banned for
Tun da da da.
I love you.
I'm thinking like these Bollywood films. I love Bollywood films because like the cinematography is amazing. I can't follow the storyline, but I'm just mesmerized by like the cinematography. Like, wow, amazing.
They go all out.
They my avatar. She's a star.
Felicia Day, yes.
Hotter than the others by far.
So, final thoughts. I'm going to go through these quick because, wow, this has been a long show, but it's been great. I
don't know about great, but...
Oh, no.
It's certainly been active.
I'm loving Rhett, Pally Jill. I loved her beginning. Thanks.
You both will be back on again.
/ blush.
/ frazzle. From Zephirah, just anybody who's Hordes, Cyrene and AIE has said that Saturday, February 17th at 8 p.m. server, they're hosting a new guild event to celebrate the life and memory of our fallen friend Ralph, RALFF. This will be the first annual Ralph's Amazing Race. Details will be posted in the forums this weekend. So mark your calendars.
Well, that's a lovely gesture. I'm sorry you lost your friend.
Oh, sweet missing feral, which is sweet. I always call her sweet no matter what she is. She had a question earlier about what everyone about girl gamers and how they get treated in game versus how people abuse being a girl character to get free things. Did anybody have any thoughts about that?
I mean, that was pretty common a long time ago. Do people still like dance on mailboxes and stuff?
You know, the only time I've danced on a mailbox was after my rogue's husband died and she was really drunk.
Oh, there you go. That would do it.
So,
but yeah, I don't think really that happens much anymore. At least not that I'm aware of.
No, not since vanilla. I mean, for me at least. I know that a guild that I was in was very much Shadow Ash is a person that weaves her web to keep men there, and that was the farthest thing in the world, and everybody laughed about it that actually knew me. So,
well, everything. To Lady Emma, the crazy cat lady, like everything's on board in Moonguard. You can't really count that against the.
Yeah,
it's all open season there.
Moonguard is exempt from everything.
There's
no place like Moonguard.
I have heard like the occasional story of a guy playing a girl and having that, but even then, I think that's rare. I treat each person like they're a person, no matter what their gender is. So I don't treat anybody differently. I mean, I have not personally heard about that, but it wouldn't surprise me if it happens and we just don't hear about it.
I mean,
I'm sure it happens, but
not like
I know for my sake, I've never been one of those people. I mean, if it happens because I'm not gonna lie. I mean, when I was deciding to move to Manaroth, the guild leader of the guild I was going to was running with me on an alt for time walking, and he had the Time Raver mount drop. And I messaged him. I said, "You are the most luckiest person in the world because I've never seen that drop, and that's amazing." And then he said, "Here's the mount. Come to my server." And I felt horrible about it. Like, you know, my transfer's already in progress. You don't really need to do that. And he was like, "No, I don't really care about mounts. So here." I'm like, "Oh, fudge! I got a mount."
Nice.
I mean, that's not. That's never been my goal. I mean, my goal has always been to have friends and make awesome stories. And I know there are people out there that do that. I've played with plenty of people that have been like, "Oh, well, this is my story, and it's going to be very sexual." And every now and then, characters have kind of evolved to that, but that's never been the focus of it. My paladin that is involved with somebody else, that person was the one that made my rogue Bubble Hearth out of doing the original paladin quest, because she went to go help them with, and it was a bunch of priests and paladin, and there was this damn rogue, and they're like, "You're the only one that can't Bubble Hearth, so here's a bubble, you have to Bubble Hearth." So I don't know, I've never been one of those people, but people have thought that I'm that person. But I don't know, I think that goes back to out of game when you're insecure with other people, maybe, possibly. Of course, I've been drinking wine all night, and I'm very chatty.
Because in vanilla, the big joke was the only profession you need is to be a woman. You make all the gold you want.
I always got confused when I would see Dead Night Elves, the mailbox in Orgrimmar. I was like, what is this? My friend would have to explain to me that Night Elves were dancing on the mailbox in Orgrimmar. I'm like, why? I don't get it.
They're hookers.
I mean, it made sense later near the end of vanilla when my elf ended up getting married to an orc. So, things happened. Okay. So when she thought that he was gone and he thought that she was gone. So she was drunk all the time. And so that's why she was dancing on a mailbox. She's like, frick it, I'll be a normal night elf and dance. And he saw her. He's like, no, you're not going to do this. So there are pictures of him stunning her on the mailbox. So she's like, ooh.
Nice.
So
Lady Emma is saying that she got stuff from her old guild because she was female, and Missing Feral is saying that their friend got catfished by a guy pretending to be a girl for 2 years.
No.
And they were getting ready to move in together.
What? See, I think the reason why the guild leader got so mad at me with my buddy that made my buddy Bubble Hearth me out of the Scholomance. Yeah, because Scholomance was where you got the paladin mount thing after Rattlegore. I think she was super mad because I actually met. We were buds, and he came to Kansas, and I went to California. We hung out, and it was all a good time. And there was like nothing funny that went on. I don't know. Some people do stupid things, and some people like me sit there and go, why? What is wrong with you?
Scratch your head and look puzzled. Yeah.
Like, I don't get it. I'm happily married. Happily with somebody. What is your problem?
Yeah. Sometimes people don't know.
I got stuff from a gold farmer once.
Some
Oh.
people take things way too far. It's like serious business. It's like the guy that broke his keyboard on the wall because it couldn't get past Shadow Labs.
Shadow Labs was awful.
Shadow Labs is serious business.
It was, and people don't understand that. It would turn me from a confident DPS machine into a drooling ret noob. All I did was die in that place.
Oh, I get it. It was hard. I was a tank in that place, and I was also a healer, but that's no reason to break a damn keyboard against the wall.
I mean,
I was tempted.
It was pretty easy if I went through it recently.
Well, yeah, I remember it being harder,
Yeah, it was. It was a lot harder. That and Shattered Halls was super hard, and Burning Crusade was a pain.
Those stupid invisible assassins.
Oh, God, yes. Fraz, are you sick of us yet?
Oh, no, but...
Okay, I'm going to tell my gold seller story real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I was about... Actually, that is involved in it. So, I was about level 50 standing around in Ironforge, and I'd founded my guild at level 14. And I went around and I just asked level 60s to join, and I think they thought it was funny that a level 14 was asking to join their guild, and maybe they thought they'd be able to boss me around. Wrong. I ran that place like the Iron Hand and the Iron Glove. But and that's why they were dragging me around, getting killed, taking me to Scarlet Monastery and stuff. But they would get even with me because I didn't know any better. Like, I couldn't sell this in the auction house. Do you want it? Yeah, okay, I'll take it. And I was just wearing any kind of crappy gear that made no sense. And I was standing around, and I get this whisper, "Ni hao, you gear bad." I'm like, yes, it is. I'm mad at boss. He yelled at me, "You take." And he opened up a trade and just gave me like epics and high-level blues.
Wow.
Apparently because boss yelled at him and he was mad and he was dumping his daily gains on some poor slob that needed them.
Nice.
And I just got loaded up. I'm like, thanks. Thanks. And how do you too, buddy? And I never saw him again, but I certainly, every time I get like in an old raid, one of the pieces that this guy gave me, I stop and think about him.
Oh.
So thank you, Chinese gold farmer guy.
I remember now. You're talking about like bad tells and stuff. Remember how and I'm sure it happens now, but like predominantly in Vanilla and Burning Crusade, the whole I need gold, and you get whispers for gold.
I know. And
I told this guy, and somebody stole this line from me later. They're like, that's the most epic thing I've ever heard. I'm going to use. And some guy was like complaining about he needed gold. I'm like, you can have all of my gold, but the problem is all the mobs on Azeroth stole it. So you're going to have to go beat them up and take it back. And anything that you get from them, you can keep.
I love it.
And I got all these tales of like, that is the best thing in the world. And this guy's like, I don't understand. I'm like, go kill things. All they took is from me. So you can keep it if you get it back from them.
I would tell them two things. If they're in a guild, it's that you're in a guild, go bother them. Two was trade skills. Learn some, earn some.
See, I wasn't too much of a dick because I remember how
I've never asked anybody for gold ever. The one time I was given gold, other than the gold farmer, but he gave me gear, was when I was doing the Epic Charger quest. And I had to buy the special feed and the diamond and stuff in South Shore, and I bought the feed, and I realized I went to fly back to Ironforge, and I did not have enough money for the Griffin flight. I didn't even have like 10 silver.
Oh no!
And I'm standing there, and some level 25, some level 25 asked me what was going on while I was standing there just running in circles, cursing. And he gave me 15 silver to get to Ironforge.
That is the sweetest thing ever.
Oh,
like
nice.
my badass level 60 paladin getting a loan from a level 25.
See, I had met a bunch of warlocks.
You have a dime and a nickel?
When I had started out playing, I met a bunch of warlocks, and they were cool enough in Burning Crusade that they had ran me to Shatra to make sure I got there safely. Like all through Hellfire and all Guard Forest and all through Zingermar Marsh.
Oh man, I was just
sure I got there,
and
they were the ones that I saw defending Terran Mill when I was leveling up, and they were the coolest. And she was Selma was the one that took me into Dire Mall. She had all the stuff already to get the Dreadsteed, so I didn't have to do any of that, thankfully. But awesome. I thought it was really cool to go and get the final portion of the Paladin quest and going through the Warlock quest.
I helped a Warlock in my guild. As a matter of fact, it was Verlaxus. This is the guy I helped. I helped him get his stupid mount. But, yeah, I actually saw the end of the Warlock quest, too. So that was nice that I was able to take part in both.
It's cool. Those two quests were awesome. I thought that was the neatest thing, and I wish they would have kept it. And I love the fact that the Druids had something very, very similar in Burning Crusade, because we had to go through all of our forms and do that for the Epic Flying. I wish they would bring more stuff like that back, because I miss the greater cat spirit and the bear spirit getting things to do out there in Moonglade.
The quests were really nice. It was a nice throwback. I had to go to Strathholm and get Strathholm holy water. Like, oh, this is awesome.
Yes, I remember that.
But yeah, so you have to do it again for the Order Hall quest, and it's really fun. I'm like, they're sending me to Strathholm. Yay!
I did that because the Paladin class mount was one of my favorites for this expansion, so I did that on my Paladin Sonata, and my husband was running around and his was like, I need that! I need it now! And I went through and did all of that, and it was super cool. All that stuff is amazing right now.
Nice.
Content in the band. I thought this was combat in the banter. I'm like, are we fighting each other?
On guard!
On guard! Advance! Reset!
Place your bets.
I think with that, I'll move us into the outro before the Scruffy.
This is what you get for putting two vanilla players on your podcast.
Oh, I love it.
We never stop.
Real quick, Xortz will be on Rating with Lisia episode 58 this weekend.
Oh, cool.
And Xortz is going to talk with Lisia about RP, so definitely check it out. And I'm excited. The Awesome Gnome Letter is sending out its 30th issue this weekend, or hopefully already sent out by this download. It's the Awesome Gnome Letter.
You are the Awesome Gnome?
Absolutely. Frazley, the Awesome Gnome. It's a weekly newsletter. I try to figure out something in the community. I bring up links and stuff. It's also a way for me to send out the links to the shows on Weekly Awesome. So.
You're the one gnome I will never punt.
Aw.
Possibly.
Aww.
I might put you on my shoulders if you're nice. So if you want to be really tall,
yeah,
the Morgan.
Piggyback ride. Oh,
Be tall like a raid boss.
Nice. It's like in Little Rascals. I have like the trench coat. I'm Frazley, the tall thing. CTR Silverbolt made an amazing chainmail keychain, and I just got mine. She's on Etsy, has Firebird chainmail. I love this chainmail. It's amazing.
I've retweeted her because she's the one with the dragon.
Yes.
Cosplay. She's got the dragon suit, which is all scale mail. She's got smoke coming out.
Oh, it's amazing.
I absolutely love her. I bow down to her. I mean, there are like 3 or 4 people that I've never considered wanting to be a furry or have a suit of awesome alter ego. Silverbolt and Casplay and Frosty are like the 3 main people that makes me want to be an amazing Morgan.
Yes.
So, and Silverbolt's got amazing dragon cosplay. So,
I've seen that. Yes, that's who that is.
Yeah, definitely.
It was cool. Like different devs and different people at BlizzCon were coming up to Silverbolt. That was cool. So like she said, like the only thing was she had to wear that everywhere. she couldn't be Silverbolt. She had to be the dragon because it was so noticeable.
Well, you got something like that, you better wear it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you all for coming to Frazzlecast tonight. The barkeep's been giving me the stink eye all evening, but we had a great time.
Last call for alcohol.
You're the only one that can see one because you're under the table.
Yes. Jill, where can we find you on the internet?
There are a couple of places. I've got my t-shirt shops at Spreadshirt and Redbubble. I can post the links for you. I've got one at Gallery. I've got the jewelry site at Shapeways. I do custom things. If there's something you want for like your team or your guild, let me know and I'll be happy to do it for you. I like money. Give me your money. You get cool stuff. I get cash. Everybody wins.
Absolutely. I gotta buy some of your stuff. I was looking at that recently. I was like,
yes, you do.
I need more money. I'm spending it on stuff. I have more money now that I'm not buying things in other Blizzard games because I don't play other Blizzard games other than WoW. So
okay. Well, if you ever need like a custom shirt or something, you know where to go.
And Scruffy or Scruffbutt, where can we find you?
You can find me on Twitter at the Scruffy Druid, or you can find me on Twitch, the Scruffy Druid, at twitch.com, twitch.com/the Scruffy Druid. You can find me there. I stream on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, mostly Fridays, and definitely on Saturday afternoons. By the way, those that follow me on Twitter, if you would like a Valentine, please be sure to get your address in and your name in. I'm going to be working on that this weekend to send them out next week so you can have Valentines for next week. So, yeah.
I just signed up to this podcast because I did not see it before.
Yeah, I put it out like right before. Like I put it out the week that I was doing that charity event. And then I got sick and I was like, I can't do anything. And my compensation was putting a bunch of book updates. And I kind of forgot to mention the Valentines. Also because I didn't have ink in my printer and I was going to print everything out. But I have ink again. So yeah, the printer's ready to go. I have cards and, old school Valentines. It's going to be fun. I promise not to send you possibly bad Scruffy Druid poetry because I'm kind of known for that.
Send me it.
But I might. So who knows? So I will send you cards and Valentines if you like. So check the pin post on my Twitter at the Scruffy Druid. And if you'd like to see me scream and cuss and be a little more rated R than Frazley Podcast, be sure to swing by my Twitch channel, Scruffy Druid, on Twitch.
There's a Valentine image I made last year.
Kael'thas is red, Jaina is blue. It's a magical world when I'm with you.
Oh,
because they're lovers. See, mine has to deal with blowing up the horde. So
that one works too. The other one I had, it was
and
Horde is red, Alliance is blue, my garrison has room for 2.
See, mine usually has to do with like blowing the other faction up. So
I try to stay with the spirit of the holiday.
But Jill, part of the spirit of the holiday is to kill them enough that you make them become your faction.
Well, if you hit somebody hard enough, no, that's not the way to go. That's probably bad advice.
Yeah.
Bad advice for your love life. If you beat somebody up enough, they'll like you. Wait, no.
No. The Frazlecast does not condone that at all.
I do not either. That's why I'm laughing about it. It's my bleak Detroiter humor. We really do like some weird stuff. There was this one comic strip called Arnold, and it was the weirdest comic strip ever, and nobody in the country liked it. And when it was canceled, the artist went and did an interview with the Detroit Free Press saying that, maybe it's something in your water because you're the only newspaper that didn't cancel this. And you're the only newspaper where I get fan letters.
Nice.
So my Valentine's poem is Horde is red, Alliance is blue. No moonfire this year. Instead, I'll send a Valentine's to you. But the original poem, by the way, is the Horde is red, the Alliance is blue. If you run from me, I'll still moonfire you.
I like it.
Nice.
So, there you go. But yeah, if you would like a Valentine from me, I sent out Christmas cards this year. Those that got Christmas cards from me will still get a Valentine's. If you don't want one, then please, God, tell me. Because I don't want to spam anybody in their snail mail with crud they don't want. So, tell me. Everybody that got a Christmas card will definitely get a Valentine's card. Anybody that wants a Valentine's card, please check out the pinned tweet on my Twitter page at the Scruffy Druid. It should say number 1 scruff of 2018 because I'm weird like that. I was trying to be like happy and confident because 2018 is going to be amazing.
Absolutely, because people are going to launch more podcasts and people are going to have fun and talk about video games.
Dude, I've got one in the works, and
yes!
I still need to record podcast number 2.
I love new podcasts. I love more podcast episodes. So, yes!
Frosties all do the thing, and I've got one for the moment that I started it. My dog died.
Oh.
And I just stopped, and I was like, crap. I've got like 8 all blocked out. I just haven't continued with it. So I've got plenty that I'm going to talk about. So, and I've got more now after the last like 2 weeks, but I just haven't had a chance to get to it.
Having book and its rambunctiousness and all that you're going through, definitely understand.
Yeah. Well, Raid Dog was huge. Raid Dog was a therapy dog, and losing him was a huge blow.
I'm right with you. I lost my kitty after Christmas.
Oh, no. You can share serious, okay?
That sounds good.
You can find me at Frazley.com, on Twitter at Frazlytastic. You can find the show at Frazzlecast.com. Get in touch with us. We love to hear from you. Email us at show@Frazzlecast.com. Call us at 1-440-536-3711. Tweet us at Frazzlecast or leave us a voicemail on our voicemail page, Frazzlecast.com/voicemail. Until next week, be awesome.
See ya.
Ludra the Mage here.
And I'm Ben the Mage.
Ben, there's a travesty in this world. Azeroth has done a grave injustice.
Wait, is this that Horde versus Alliance stuff again? Look, I told you, I'm out. It is just not happening with me.
No, Ben. No. This is far worse. You see our new race friends? Do not have new racial pets!
Wait, is this like something they decided on, or is it just an oversight? What's going on?
No, they're nowhere to be found. None. Not a word. Not even a whisper about where their new vendor pets are, Ben. I'm so sad for them. I'm so sad.
Okay, that's it. I'm gonna protest this. Here, hold my beer.
While Ben is off protesting the injustice that is non-representation, tune into Battle Pass episode 123, where we discuss this grave oversight, ponder ideas about what could have been or still could be, and discuss other various goings-ons in Azeroth.
Okay, I'm back. You won't believe how simple that was.
What did you do? Is it fixed already?
I took a number. Now I just have to wait for my turn, and they shall hear of my mighty wrath.
Now calling number 23.
Sweet! Only 154 more to go.
Welcome to episode 25 of the Frazley Report. Today is Friday, February 9th, 2018. This past week, BFA pre-orders opened up right before the Q&A with Ian. We had pre-recorded last week's episode. Blizzard had decided to spring the news upon us halfway through the week. Needless to say, I bought the Digital Deluxe Edition. I have had time now to play with the Alliance mount and the Tortollan pet. Here, let me activate that right now. 1 second. No! I clicked the Doomsayer's robe toy that was also in my action bar. Don't think it'll affect anything except I'm wearing the Doomsayer's robe now. Let's try activating that pet again. Okay, here it goes. Clicking the pet now. Aww, isn't it cute? Along with the pre-orders came many issues. Mac versions of the game would crash. Pre-orders had queues. People were being double, triple, quadruple charged. And for some, none of the boost, allied races, pets, and or mounts were being sent to some players. Many people also had issues where their characters weren't loading in the character screen. I got my pre-order fine, but had the crashing issues and then the character loading screen issues. All of this got resolved. But this shows that the end is near. The world is ending. The WoW Auction House API has been down and is probably still down by the time of this broadcast. We think all is going well. But I heard from a friend of a friend who knows a cleaning person, who knows a storyboard artist, who knows a coder, who knows a graphic artist, who once babysat Chris Metzen that
the end of the world is near. No, the end of all is coming. Run for the hills. The energy of Sargeras' sword is flooding into everything and destroying us all. None will stand when all of creation is destroyed. Run for your lives. Take up arms and prepare for the oncoming battle. Doom is nigh.
What just happened? I said, what? Oh. My Doomsayer robe buff just wore off. That toy must be more harmful than I thought. Oh, my head feels really weird. I think I need to go lie down. Let's get to the ending. This has been the Frazley Report. I am Frazley Sparkspan. You can find the show at frazlreport.com. Until next week, be awesome. Oh, my head. Oh. Frazzlecast is a fan podcast that covers Blizzard games. We are not affiliated with Blizzard Entertainment. Views expressed by the host and guests are their own. Some of the art, music, and sound effects come from Blizzard games and are owned by Blizzard Entertainment, Inc. No copyright infringement is intended.
Want more awesomeness every week? Visit weeklyawesome.com. Weekly podcasts to make your week better. Remember to smile and be awesome.